Hello and welcome to FMK Anime. I am your host, Meep, joined by my co-hosts, Gilly and Dalaron. Say hi.
Sup?
But what if I don't want to say hi?
Say hi, Gilly.
Hi, Gilly.
Bastard.
And
Fuck you.
we're
Oh, hold
we are
on.
coming at
Hold
you
on.
with Anime FMK, brought
Hold
to
on.
you by Raid. No, we're not sponsored by anyone yet.
Meep, let me plug myself.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think we can do that on stream. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
My monitor just died. At least it's still up. Hold on one second. Yep, you guys take it away. Hi, I'm Dalaron Quest. You guys can catch me at twitch.tv/Dalaron Quest. That's DALARON Quest. Tuesdays we got D&D. Normally this happens on Mondays. We got Anime FMK. I lost hearing in my left ear. That's a fucking thing that I'm dealing with. And yeah, otherwise we got some video games and other fun stuff happening. Currently learning fighting games and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Learning fighting games with my friend. I'm gonna go fix my monitor.
See, Dalaron, this is why your sex was banned.
I'm sorry, headphone users.
Anyways, yes, this is FMK Anime, where each week we watch an amount of shows. This week we're starting with a fresh lineup of 10 shows. At the end of each week, we can decide to cut we can decide to cut one show. To decide whether or not we're going to cut one, we decide whether we're going to give it this nice, lovely, frothy eggplant, or we decide if we're going to stick a knife in it.
Frothy. Why frothy, Meep? That's a bad word for the eggplant.
And then at the end of the season, we decide which show we're going to marry. And after that, we have our award ceremony. But
I
for
prefer
now,
my eggplants boiled over frothy.
for now, I think we should start with our first show, ladies and gentlemen. Cells at Work Code Black, Episode 1. The new recruits of the Red Blood Cells begin their first day and to realize stress and sleep deprivation have made the body a literal hell. Red Blood Cell and his two older colleagues get caught in carbon monoxide, and only our blood cell survives with the help of White Blood Cell. We learn that in the first time in over 10 years, the body started to smoke again, and that was the cause of the carbon monoxide.
So.
I can't call the show... Oh.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I can't call the show light and fluffy, but I did enjoy my time with it. Like, because I would always describe original Cells at Work as light and fluffy, which this is not.
This warned you.
I knew it was going to be edgy. I enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed my time with it overall. It's a show that I can sit back and just watch and enjoy.
So I was wrong. It wasn't cancer. It was just someone making really bad life decisions, but I really don't know which is darker and edgier. Which variant. I don't know which one I would have preferred. Probably this, because cancer would have been really sad seeing it happen. I mean, we might still see it. This is Cells at Work, but it's just everything that the worst stuff is happening.
I don't think this one will tackle it, because, I mean, I can say why, but that might be spoilers. So, if anything, I'll just tell you later.
Okay.
If you want me to say it now, I can.
I mean, if it's spoilers, then I guess I don't, but...
I mean, the original Cells at Work came out a while ago, so...
Yeah, this is whatever. I'd say save it for now. We'll if it comes up, it comes up. How about you, Gilly? What did you think of Code Black? You got more?
Just kind of bored.
Fair. And of many words.
I can say. That's kind of almost my entire opinion.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Cells, like, it It
It's like I was
didn't.
watching an informational video for a high school biology class.
I mean, that is what people call Cells at Work in general, like the very first one, the original series.
I mean, in my high school biology class, they actually let us watch it for some assignments.
Which is crazy to me. Hey kids, today we're watching anime.
To be fair, my science teacher was a huge anime nerd, so
The thing that this show does worse than the original is that all the like biology and anatomy terminology, they kind of just throw it at you as if you're supposed to know what it is. The original anime had like little infographics or like little info text in the subs provided by the editors, and even in Japanese explaining what exactly, what is the corduroy artery, or how oxygen flows into the stomach. Here it's just you get terminology thrown at you and with no context. So for my for my fellow, not my fellow, but like for my med students watching, like I'm sure you guys are having a ball, but for me, who's like very illiterate when it comes to biological and anatomic terminology, I'm just like, okay, it's a place with a thing.
They go out of their way to explain usually the words that I can't even actively pronounce if I attempt to. But then there's a lot of things that I still don't know what it is that they don't go out of their way to say anything about.
I I think that might be the fault of it, because when I was watching this, I did recognize a lot of terminology that was explained in the original, especially later on in the original. Uh, but
I
but
mean,
yeah, it
I
doesn't
get it.
it
It's a
doesn't. Oh, sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it does throw them at you. Yeah, I won't.
It's built around the expectation that people have watched the previous show, and I get that, but at the same time,
Yeah, exactly. Like I guess I mean I assume like Gilly said it expects you to have watched the original show, but it isn't the point of a spin-off to like be there for the people who haven't watched the original. It wasn't bad, right? It's not like they're like talking in a whole nother language. But there were moments where I'm just like, at one point I'm watching it, and I'm like, I just gave up. I'm like, yep, that is a place in the body that you guys are and or are going to.
I still enjoyed it.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it. For me, the show was like, it was weird. There's something about it that didn't fully resonate with me, but like with any dark take on a familiar story, I can't say that I'm not curious to see where they're going to go with it.
Listen, I'm just sitting here waiting for the STD episode.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen because the dude's making. I mean, I assume it's a guy's body, but I guess I shouldn't do that. The person's body who we're watching, who we're in, is obviously not taking care of themselves. If it's not depression, then it's just someone making. It's probably depression. It's really shit life choices.
Yeah, which is interesting to me. Whereas in the first one, it was just the first one dealt with a lot of circumstantial stuff that that can happen from various circumstances, like parasites to like, oh, I scraped myself. Whereas this one is like, no, these are active choices that are leading this person to having these issues, which is what's more interesting to me. Is, yeah, no, I want to explore these like self-caused problems. Like, I want to see him get like, I'm waiting for an alcohol episode too, where we're in the kidneys and we're seeing the cells drowning in vodka.
I think that's going to be the next episode.
I think that is the
Probably.
next episode.
And like, I normally don't watch previews, but I saw like a second of it, and uh, let's just say that people look a lot happier than this show has made them out to be, which I'm expecting will be a literal gut punch.
Well, yeah, because that information like video they showed, it was said that was taken a lot. The body was happier.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the informational video, I thought it was very cute. I really liked it. It had this like old school kind of filter to it, which really made it feel slightly nostalgic, but like wholesome and well done. And like I knew the show we were going into. It's called Cold Black with the blood turning dark. Like, okay, I get where we're going. Um, I didn't expect the platelets to be fucking assholes, to just be fucking jaded, chain-smoking children, but, like, um, existentially dead children, but, like, I knew it was setting us up for, like, setting us up for disappointment, but I really enjoyed it. I kind of liked this form of introduction. It was a very good transition into the show.
Nothing quite like a lolly that's been smoking 4 packs a day for the past decade.
Seriously, that kid looks more tired than me, and I am pretty fucking tired.
I liked the white blood cells.
Ah, which leads me to the question I was really looking forward to ask. So, Meep, Gilly, who is your favorite character? Big titty white blood cell? Or bald Brock's dad, but bald?
I was
Oh,
actually
Brock's
gonna
dad.
say, I was actually gonna say before you even said anything, I was gonna say the bald guy.
Yeah, Brock's dad,
Yeah.
but bald.
Well, listen, I like me a good big pair of titties, but I identified with the bald guy a lot, especially when he said, "Oh, it's easy. You just repress your emotions, and then it doesn't hurt anymore." I'm just like, man, I identify with you a lot, man.
The way he just literally sprinted into that fucking carbon monoxide, laughing hysterically, was very uncomfortable but very good.
Dude's a fucking
It,
hero.
it's ironically, I think this is talking about Japanese work culture in a sense. The work, work, work till you drop. You're a part of this
Yes.
machine.
Yes, yes, yes. That's really where I think this is going to go. From that very facetiously pleasant introduction, like, oh, we're working on reforms, on labor reform, and then just immediately to this fucking. And that's where I think the body, like, if it's not cancer and it's not depression, that's also where I think we might end up. Where it's just this salary man with a miserable life who eats fast food every breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
It's just taking place in my body.
You know, they talk
Oof.
about there's a lot of things they showed with this, and you have like the informational video is old and they haven't updated it for a reason.
Yeah.
But then there's also the guy that showed them the video that just flat lied to their face.
That's what I mean. The
Yeah.
whole like, oh, we're working on labor reform, and I'm like, you're a bastard.
It's funny. So I watched the first episode of season 2 of the original at work right after this one. The fucking whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm gonna say right now, the designs for the different types of like things in the body. Look, you're all about those white blood cells, but I want to see those I want to see those T cells.
Yeah. The
Oh
funny
Big
thing
yeah.
buff
is,
men.
the T
Oh
cells
yeah.
were a complete JoJo reference in the original cells at work. Now they're just fucking bara to hell.
I want to see them.
They
Yeah,
are
like
they are
uh,
surprisingly way more ripped in this show than they are in that one. I guess we need our quota of hot buff dudes since white blood cells are big titty girls now.
I I need my hot buff men, my 10 hot men.
it's an interesting swap from the original because in the original all the male blood cells are white blood cells and all the female blood cells are red blood. It's an interesting swap to see because all of the white blood cells in this one have their shirts open, showing their huge honkers.
Yeah, it's a little obnoxious.
I disagree. It's perfect.
I can't take the show seriously though because I don't think the show is the show has this really dark narrative to it, but it doesn't take itself too seriously in its moments. Like just I'm going to put her up on the screen right now, but just the way that they have white blood cell like just slicing through. First of all, the white blood cells here are way stronger than the original series.
Because
Well,
his
they have.
body is so fucked.
Yeah, they have to be.
Fair enough.
They're
It's
weathered.
that. Maybe that's why they have such developed chests.
It's insane. I know like the white blood cells in the original series were like ripped to hell, but yeah, it's whatever. I'm not mad about it. Like they are super pin-uppy, but they actually act like tough characters, so I don't mind it. It is fan servicey. She even puts her. Well, no, she doesn't. Like she bends over to check on the red blood cell boy who fell over, and he just stares at her chest at her tits because they're right there, and he's like, yeah, he's a good boy, but he's still just like, like the show
Listen,
knows what it's the show knows what it's doing. It's self aware.
I'm just happy it doesn't have like the meat slapping sounds when anime usually shows breasts, like the. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
that.
Speaking of sounds, though, did
It's
anyone
fan
else?
service, but it's not etchy.
Yeah, it's not etchy. It's not. It's blatant, but it's not like gaudy, if that makes sense. Like, yes, they're obviously meant to be super sexual. Like, their chest is pushed up and right in your face, but they're fucking hot. They're really hot, and they kick ass, and they look great, and they're also way of age. So thanks, anime. Um, that being said, speaking of sounds, did anyone else notice it, or am I the only one who nitpicks sound design? Where during the graduation ceremony and everyone is clapping, it's just the sound. It's like stock applause sounds, but the moment the
I didn't notice that. Oh,
Die.
hello. Oh, I think he died.
who died? Me died? Hello?
You got you cut out for a minute there.
Oh shit! What was the last thing you guys heard me say?
As soon as the boy started to clap, it was different clapping noises.
Yeah, yeah, he was clapping. It was padded like he's wearing gloves, but they're all wearing gloves.
I mean, I didn't notice that at first, but now that you point it out, I'd probably notice it. But it was unnoticeable for me.
I have an opinion about something with like just uh art design here.
What's up?
Sure.
I don't like that kind of shading.
Okay, I'm glad someone brought it up.
That kind of
Really?
I do not like that kind of shading. I can't even remember what it's called. I was taught what that was called. I don't like it.
It's 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 super dark shading, and I think it's to strike a point. Everything here is supposed to look derelict. It's a bit of that horror manga style. I can't say I love it, but I can understand.
It's not exactly the darkness of it. It's how they do the shading. The lines. I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't say I love it, but I understand it from a stylistic standpoint. Like I understand its function.
I love it. It's just a part of the art style of the show, really.
It makes the show so much fucking edgier, and again, I'm not taking it too seriously, and I can't because every shadow, every moment is just like Attack on Titan depression.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you guys have any last things to say? So I'm ready for cards if you guys are.
Um, yeah, let's talk about cards
Sure thing. Mind if I hold them up first?
by all means.
I'm gonna fuck this show. It's not light and fluffy like I would normally describe cells at work, but it's light. It's light in the sense that I don't have to think too hard while I'm watching it. I can just sit back and eat popcorn.
Fair enough. Oh god, you have a really weird Kuma pair, but Gilly, do you want to go or should I?
You go.
Okay. I'm also gonna fuck this show. I'm gonna hold up the eggplants. It was an interesting first date. She was a lot darker than I thought. Like her personality was a lot darker than I thought. A lot edgier. Don't quote that. Because you fucking know someone out there would be like, misconstrued. Fuck you. I'm onto you. I know you're there. Anyway, yeah, no, the personality was a lot darker and edgier than I expected it to be, but I'm kind of interested. She had an amazing body, and I try not to be superficial, but like, damn, and also like, she's really smart. Like, she keeps talking about like how she's learning, studying to be a doctor or at least nursing, and there's some cool information there, and her stories are interesting, very edgy, but I'm down to see where this show goes. Also, in the show's credit, one thing that I really liked about is when they introduced the senpais, he references the opening from the original Cells at Work, where he goes because the original work is like, oh, I gotta work and work and work and gotta deliver, like gotta get the oxygen, deliver it, and then he just fucking goes, yeah, we gotta like Like, he's just like, it's nonstop. We're working every moment we can. It's just work, work, work. Deliver, deliver, deliver the oxygen. I'm like, this show knows what it's doing.
They killed your boy, Dal.
They killed my boy. I don't think, was that him?
Yep, that was him. Purple-haired guy and the guy that was explaining parts of the body. That was him.
I thought Bald Brock's dad was going to die for sure. I thought they were death flagging him for sure, but yeah, I can see.
No. What I mean, both of them died, but the purple-haired guy was your boy.
Yeah, my boy.
The voice actor you like.
Yeah. I know. What's his name? Kino? No, I'm gonna look him up right now. But yeah,
well, he's
Gilly.
dead now. Doesn't matter.
Hey, he can come back. He's dead. We can come back as someone else. Damn, he's not even credited. Yeah, he might not come back.
I meant the character was dead, not your voice actor.
Kenjiro. No, I know. Oh, he's the narrator.
If you die in the show, you die in real life.
Kenjiro Tsuda is the voice actor. Yeah, and he's the narrator for the show.
But Gilly, what is your verdict?
I personally would have to kill the show.
That's fair. It's not for everyone.
I just didn't get really anything. I was just bored. I was either bored or confused or upset looking at the shading.
Okay.
Fair.
Like it was the few moments of enjoyment were very fleeting for me.
Fair. But let's see how our enjoyment was with Skate to Infinity, Episode 1. Red-haired boy loses against Shadow in the underground skateboarding competition called S, but he meets a transfer student from Canada and gets him a job. They have to deliver a skateboard, but red-haired boy grabs the wrong bag, and Canada boy skates and has talent because he used to snowboard. Canada represent!
Yeah, Canada's just the new English representation in anime. Like, they've done UK to death, and no one wants to touch America right now. So everyone's Canada now.
I can't blame no one for wanting to touch the US.
You can't blame them for wanting to touch the US?
I can't blame them for not wanting to.
Yeah, we're a hot mess right now. We're not even a hot mess. We're just a fucking mess right now.
But this isn't a politics podcast. This is an anime podcast. I liked this anime.
Skate was great. I'm not even going to try to hide it. Like, the anime did incredibly well. Like, I got immediately excited for the show when it started showing us, like, during the introduction scenes, like, it was showing us everyone's different boards and kind of talking about every different character's motivation and, like, hopes. And I'm like, yo, let's go. Sport shonen anime about skateboarding and characters. Let's do it. Come on, I'm here.
I want so badly to know more about Shadow. I thought I was gonna hate him, and I kind of do, but I want to know I want to know why he is the way he is.
Who hurt you?
Because they've almost heavily alluded already that there's a reason for it, and I want to know what it is.
Listen, I love how he was like, yeah, the winner gets to make the loser get a tattoo. I'm gonna make your girl tattoo dumpster slut.
Yeah, there was a lot of vulgarity in this show, huh?
Yeah, I heard, like, I was looking at reviews and people are calling the show a bit sexist, which I don't agree with, but I can understand where they're coming from, because it's talking about, like, oh yeah, you can offer women as a losing prize, and that kind of made me squint my eyes a bit. Like, is that consensual, or is this like
now hold on? This is Shadow fucking saying it. Literally the evil fucking clown, and he's the
juggalo skater. Look,
he really is. Except yeah, he's like the dickhead juggalo skater. And I'm looking at the roster, and I don't think we have a female skater. Maybe one, the cat girl, but like maybe that's I remember seeing something and thinking like, oh, that's a quote unquote trap character or trans. Who knows what they do with it? But
Dalaran, you know the new fad. It's gonna be a cat boy.
Catboy, fuck it, I'm
I
here for it. But this
actually do
really,
think that might be a guy, but I'm not sure.
I think so too. Their face also is a little bit more gentle boy looking. But I guess we'll find out as they continue introducing the characters. I mean, Shadow's
I'm all
a
for
dickhead. Like him being super rude to women makes sense. I can't wait to find out that he's just like a awkward outcast guy who just started being an asshole because people laughed at him. That's kind of what I expect from it.
I can't wait to find out he and pink-haired guy have something going on.
That's
I
the other
just
thing. We've seen how like we get little we get little like flashes of what people look like when they're not at S. What the fuck does Shadow look like outside of that?
I don't think we've been shown that, huh?
We haven't, and I don't know if we'll ever see it. It might be one of those things where we don't, but I want to.
I think we will. I
What
think
what he looks like?
that's something the show is. Me, just to address the whole sexist thing, I'm not gonna blow that whistle right now. I just think the show's gonna unfortunately have a weak female character presence.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't saying it was sexist. I was just saying people are saying that because of the one dumpster slut comment, and then the
Cool. I learn how
wagering.
to learn what bad characters are and learn to
I
accept
know,
them.
but the other one I was mentioning was like, oh yeah, they're wagering up women like they're cattle, and even though it's Shadow saying that, I fully believe that's a part of the competition because there are obviously consequences to losing the skateboarding.
Yeah, it's a bet. We'll see. I just sorry, not sorry. Sorry to kind of be callous about it, but sorry, not sorry about my own opinion.
Yeah,
Like you can't blow the sexist whistle every moment. Otherwise, like you actually need to talk about the moments that are actually objectifying or derogatory toward women. I hope this show isn't it. I don't see it right now, but I do think the show is going to have a severe underrepresentation of female characters. That being said, the characters that we did get, I love through and through. I mean, Shadow's a fucking
I
pompous douchebag, but I
my
think that's the point. And Gilly, I look forward to seeing that duality of characters in Skate or in S and outside of Skate.
I
I
really like. We've seen a little bit, and I want to see more.
I think my favorite moment of this episode was when Canada Boy was so confused when he turned down the job for being
Oh, you're cutting in and
18.
out.
When
The Canada Boy
oh,
was what?
okay, I was my favorite moment was when Canada Boy was so confused when he was turned down the job because he wasn't 18. Because in Canada, part time work is pretty much exclusively reserved for youth. And that was so interesting. See, like, yeah, no, he would be fucking confused. I was fucking confused.
In Japan, it's not allowed.
How do you
I know
call
it's
him
not allowed in
Cannibal Boy?
Japan.
If I remember correctly, it's Longa.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like Longa.
I do too. So Longa is our main character, right? It's not going to
No,
be Red Haired Boy. No,
Reki.
I
No.
They're both going to be mains. They're like a
Yeah.
duo. But Reki is I think the because you got the skateboarder perspective and you got the outsider perspective. You got the upbeat underdog, which is Reiki, and you have uh, the prodigy, quiet outsider Langa. Red versus not red versus blue, but red and blue. Oh my god, it's red and blue. Except red is now Langa, who's blue hair, and Reiki is blue but not an asshole and with red hair.
also I love how Longa is sad there isn't snow here because so it's assumed that his dad is either dead or back in Canada, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a line where the mom asks, "Is it really okay for you to come here?" And then Longa says, "Yeah." So I have to assume the mom and the dad are either split up or the dad's 6 feet under in Canada.
I think if I was going to guess that either the dad just passed away in an accident or it was a snowboarding accident.
Mm, yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, it
We'll
makes
see.
sense the parents are at least not together, seeing as the only family photo he seems to have is when he was a toddler.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
could have been passed away a long time and mom couldn't handle living in Canada so they moved back. But this is just speculation. I will say this
I
though.
I can't handle it here. Everyone's too polite.
Longa's polite.
I mean, that's a whole thing on the ending that I got lots of screenshots for.
I really like. Do you guys want to talk about the ending?
Sure.
Yeah,
I thought that
I
was great.
fucking I love the ending for a lot of different aspects. The song itself is really good, but the fact that they show on it this all these like people fucking up.
Yeah, just wiping
Br-
out and eating fucking pavement.
Yeah, the one with oh god, the one with Joe is what I thought about getting a screenshot for, but I thought it was might have been too much. The fucking nutcracker.
Because he's the sex
But
boy.
but the one the one of Shadow I got is also very good.
The shadow.
Joe,
Yeah, go ahead, Meep.
Joe is the one that has the two girlfriends slash partners slash sexual partners, right?
I don't think he has just two, but yes.
Because
Yeah,
we see him at the start like making out with two different girls, which they seemed to be into it. So gotta give respect to poly couples.
Hey, it's good to see
I
polyamorous representation, as long as they
I
don't make him a sleazeball.
Mhm.
I don't think Joe's gonna be a sleazeball. I think he seems like a really cool dude actually. Pretty much,
Yeah,
the
he
funny thing
he's
is
a
that
chef.
like the funny thing is for the most part, it seems like a lot of our lineup actually aren't. I mean, Shadow's a dick, but it actually seems like this is a situation where our primary lineup, everything we've seen so far, is actually people that are at least to a degree friendly with each other
Well, we do
and
have
allies
Dio.
in a way, even though Shadow is a dick.
We do have Dio.
There's
I'm sorry, I mean Adam.
well,
Jesus
there's
Christ.
also there's also the naked guy that was jerking off in front of the computer,
That's
fucking Canada. Right?
that's
That's what he's
Adam.
talking about when he said Dio.
He looked like
Oh,
fucking Dio. Vampire ass, ripped, his hair spiky when he gets excited, just like
I,
Dio's
I,
is in part one.
I didn't know it gave us his name.
Hmm.
I
I said I didn't know it gave us his name.
I think it's mentioned at one point, but I'm also looking at the winter list.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't catch the name either. But yeah, we have our overarching villain, which is just some really creepy guy in front of a bunch of screens that watch every single aspect of S, and now apparently he's really interested in Longa, which I don't know if I like.
What
I
I got from the introduction scene and from what I saw in the ending and what I saw during the episode is that our quote unquote villain is probably, if he's not some salaryman, that he is like some important business exec or VP, or maybe even politician who has to be very straight laced and professional all the time and makes a lot of money because he was the one shown when they're like, people's different dreams, being popular with the opposite sex. They showed Joe. Uh, and when he was talking about making a lot of money or being respected in your profession, they showed Adam. Um, and this S is something he creates with his money just so he can fully cut loose, so he can be this fucking maniacal persona.
Yeah,
I'm just
I love how he has
I
his that he had like one of the craziest design skateboards that just locked inside of a
Oh, it was
inside a
fucking
cabinet.
gorgeous.
oh yeah I what I'm really hoping for is, so this is an anime that I have a lot of passion for, Killing Bites. I'm not gonna spoil anything about her, but there's an announcer character in Killing Bites, and she is one of my favorite characters in that show. Even though she's a very much a secondary character, I love her just for her character and her passion. I hope we have an announcer character like that in the show because we see like this female announcer in the opening. So
I mean, most of the announcers. I think it's actually funny that all the announcers are just generic dudes in hats, like the red blood cells.
But Meep, how did you feel about the flag girl who was ripped?
oh, I loved her.
It's
That
very
was
much
so
like,
interesting because you see this flag girl, she's definitely very scantily clad like a flag girl would be, but she doesn't just she's not the kind of model you're expecting. She has fucking like abs and very well defined muscles.
She probably drags all the corpses off the track.
It's like not what you'd expect. Not, at least not by what they usually do.
Also, to let my inner Canada come out here a little bit. So the biggest snowboarding places in Canada are Alberta, British Columbia, and the Yukon. Which of those three provinces do you think he's from? I'm
I,
betting the Yukon.
I'll leave it to you. I have no idea. Unfortunately, I'm ignorant to Canada regions and provinces.
Assuming the studio did their research, he is definitely not an Albertan. He did not have the fucking accent or lingo.
I also, I really like Langa. I thought he was gonna be like the antagonist, but he's just like he's a good bean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's how skateboarding works. How if you're a snowboarder, you're going to be instantly good at it.
I don't think it fucking is. I think they suspended belief really hard for that, but I'm not mad about it because that's like we got like three skates. We got like three rides, right? We got Reiki versus Shadow, we got Langa versus Shadow, and then we got someone else doing some stuff, right?
We only had the two.
Then I guess it was just the I guess I was just blown away by all the moments
There,
of like
there
skateboarding and
was
slow mos.
there was a lot of just like casual moments of Ricky just skating around doing tricks. He did a jump over Longa at one point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would have punched him in the dick if he did that to me. Well, he actually got the chance because he just fucking he tail dropped the skateboard on Reiki. So, catharsis.
I
Oh, I need okay. I need to talk about something. The little intermission with the different art style and there's the cute little
oh yeah,
moment was one of my favorite fucking things in this entire episode.
oh yeah. We always talk about like endings that do something different or openings do something. It's rare to see an intermission that different, and that makes me happy.
Cute little intermission. It was really nice.
Hmm.
I was just like, because there's plenty of animes that'll do like uh an intermission, but a lot of the time it's more of just it's almost just like an animation of something running across the screen as they do a wipe,
Hmm.
rather than a whole little animated short.
Yeah.
So it was just really nice.
That was actually one of my least favorite things about Jujutsu Kaisen, kind of like the commercial break intermission like transition thing. I think it's a
Yeah.
reference to like the old school Jujutsu Kaisen, but I'm like, eh.
It's very generic shonen like I do like the though, but
Oh, you're cutting it
you
in
know.
on me.
Oh, hello? Am I
Yeah,
better now?
yeah.
Okay, I said yeah, though I did like the music they used for it. Though, do you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, actually, a few more things.
Okay.
One, since we talked about the ending and the intermission, we should probably mention the opening.
Yes, I love that song.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
I re-
Well,
I was listening to that earlier because I actually really like this artist and his sound and how he does everything.
the opening was
I'm.
really fun and dynamic, and the song fit. I actually like the song.
I think the song fits. It's just I'm not a fan of the auto tune.
About this
I
show from the opening song to the ambient music and the way they talk is just
Mhm.
skater lingo and skater like, and it's always fun.
I did like yeah. I think the song fits, especially for that, and I really like the visuals. They were like really fun and lively.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed this show.
It's just I'm not a fan of the auto tune, but that's my personal preference. And the other two things I wanted to mention is I do really like the characters thus far.
Characters are good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Reiki, our protagonist question mark, looks like he's from Beyblades or Yu-Gi-Oh with his hair and just
Yeah.
overall
He
appearance.
does.
Oh, I was expecting him to pull out a Beyblade, not a tech deck.
Yeah. You know what? Not even Yu-Gi-Oh. He looks like he's from Beyblades or Monster Rancher, or not Monster Rancher. Monster Card. Damn it, what's it called? Duel Masters. He looks like he's from Duel Masters.
Sure, he doesn't look like the main character from Bakugan.
He does not look like Dan. He looks like the character from Digimon, though.
He does look like a Digidestin.
Trust me, I love Bakugan Battle Brawlers. That's one of my favorite shows from my childhood. Don't compare Dan though. Dan is a weak protagonist.
Speaking of protagonist, he went into everyone's
He
like.
acts. I'm talking about how he looks. It's the stereotypical like anime protag design of spiky hair and crazy clothes.
Also, we
Which
talked
I'm
about
fine with.
in the beginning. He was like talking about what everyone's inspiration is. Reiki's inspiration is going to be fucking like his his happiness is going to be freedom, isn't it? He's like everyone has their own happiness, like money,
We're gonna give
status.
him the fucking you mean the stereotypical shonen view.
Yeah. My happiness is being free. Skate on.
I only want to be king of the pirates because it's the most free person. I mean, best skater. What?
I want to be king of the Skyrates. Skaters.
Meanwhile, there's just Itadori. I want to eat all these fingies.
As far as like in particular things, I am ready to hold up cards whenever you guys are.
I am.
I would like to go
The only
last.
The only other, you know what? I'll say it when I make my vote.
Why
And
don't
I'm
you go
gonna
with
go
this?
first.
You don't want to go first?
I said I'm going to go first.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck this show. I love this show. I'm very happy with this show. Um, just everything about it is really fun. The way they talk, the way they act, the difference between when they're at the contest and when they're not. And I brought it up a little bit, and I want to just say something about it. The the soundtrack of what they just play when they're not doing anything is, or when they're just skating around casually, is so very good.
Yeah.
I love the just casual music. It is so nice. That was
This
one of the first things I paid attention to, and I couldn't stop for the rest of the episode.
this is definitely a front runner for best soundtrack.
Like it's got really, really good stuff in it.
God, I just saw what show we're talking about next.
Yep. But shh.
But yeah, that's me.
This show is really fun and vibrant. I would be reclused if I didn't give this the fuck. This is probably going to be, other than one of the other shows on this list, it's probably going to be my favorite this season, just with the way it's going. It's absolutely fun. I don't have much else to say other than that.
No, yeah, I agree. Ecstatic eggplants. This might already be the front runner for me this season. Really strong first impression. Great first episode. Introduced a bunch of characters, and none of them felt weird or forced. They were just there. I guess the weirdest one is Sakura, because he's just there. But
I feel
someone
like
had to
there's gonna
fall
be
to
a
the
lot of
side.
fun stuff with him though.
Oh yeah, like no character feels like they're going to be wasted. Each one kind of has their own personality and character. And if last season showed anything, I'm not going to say who I married, but you can go back and watch if you guys weren't following along. I love character driven shows, and the fact that this show is doing this like duality of man. And sorry, there's someone knocking outside, chopping something outside.
Knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, you guys heard that? The
No.
fact that this show is doing this duality of personalities, but not making it as if they act like different. I mean, I guess they do act like different people, but it's showing depth. Like each person has something going on in their personal life that they let go when they come to skate. Except for Reiki. He's kind of like Reiki. He's
Still act
protect.
like themselves when they go there. It's just there's the stuff they don't show to everyone.
Yeah. But like Langa comes out as this like incredibly cool, focused, like elegant Yuri on Ice motherfucker. Shadow is I very much look forward to seeing what Shadow is like outside. Adam, like my god, like the way they introduced our quote unquote villain, it's fucking hilarious to me. I actually laughed. I'm like, this is so over the top. I love this.
You think
And
Shadow might be a circus clown?
even the characters we don't talk about, like the manager. I thought the manager was delightful. He was this like veteran skater who like looks out for kids who like to skate, and he's silly, but he's also like gets it. Like it's really charming. This show has a lot of charm. The visuals and animation for the skate races were fantastic, like absolute spectacles, already bringing out like A+ material. Really, really interested to see what they're doing. This show obviously loves what it's like the material it's working with, because it just has this like knack for conveying not just like characters' emotions and stuff like that, but also like expressions, but also like it has this great knack for conveying speed, weight, and movement through the animation. Yeah, snowboarding and skateboarding isn't as similar as someone might imagine, but damn it all, did they not really convey the feeling through the race exactly what was happening? So good. Just so good. And lastly, like, well, actually, on that moment, like, my stomach, I don't know about you guys, but, like, I don't like heights. My father really doesn't like heights, and seeing him react so poorly kind of gave me his fear of it. So, like, if there's no water beneath me and, like, I'm out of control, like, there's nothing I could do about the situation, I'm really uncomfortable. So when Langa jumped off the fucking trail onto one of the collapsed steel beams, and this is a big snowboarder thing because that's how you like that's what you do on really difficult trails and wild trails. You just drop off cliffs, and just dropped off to the other steel beam that's like collapsed beneath him. My stomach like dropped. I was like, ugh! So the show is visually stunning, and the characters are already seeming super interesting and fascinating. So I am here for it. Also, when Langa was trying to learn skateboard, that is an accurate depiction of what happens when you step on a skateboard for the first time. I felt that.
Bust his fucking ass.
You bust your fucking ass. You hang in the air for 3 seconds, suspended in time and space, and then you go down.
You can put off talking about this next show all you want.
Let's do it. We can't. We need to go. Let's go. Come on, me.
We got our trifecta. Now we gotta move on to this.
Our next show, X-Arm, Episode 1. Akira is a boy who died and turned into an X-Arm, which are strong weapons. He awakens to find an android girl saving him from smugglers. He helps them beat the smuggler who has an X-Arm, but also learns he's the enemy of mankind. This show is ugly as butt.
Can we fucking kill this show, please?
No, we gotta wait till we get. We have to wait till we have at least our entire roster here. We have to wait a week.
I like I when we I'm a firm believer of when we set up rules, we follow them. All of last season, not King's Raid, not Fruit Tart, nothing made me want to. Nothing made me consider nothing made me like consider breaking the 2 episodes before getting the knife rule, then X Arms. Holy shit, garbage fire on a hot summer afternoon.
I paused the part where the arm went outside, was in the water, showed that to Limus, our video editor, and I fucking. We both busted out laughing at how bad that looked. This show is god awful with its animation. It's also a really good manga from what I've heard.
Look at this!
Good manga.
Look at this! They just stare at you, dead. And yes, Mipa's right. It's literally just copy and pasted bubbles, resized, and just boop, a little hand. It's
Berserk 2016? This makes Berserk 2016 look bearable.
oh fuck, it actually does. Did you like the stock fire effects and the flat background?
A group of executives at Crunchyroll, after buying their like $50 million office, had to look at this. Had to look at this fucking garbage fire and go, yeah, this is okay to release. The trailer at the end has the audacity to say it's declaring war on all SFM animations. Overwatch porn has a higher budget than this. If this is declaring war on SFM animations, then this classifies as a war crime.
Okay, let's pull the brakes for 1 second. Really quick. I don't know about either of you two, but I have no idea what the fuck happened with this show. So, I will say this. If you know, due to COVID and due to, or even exploitative production, in-house practices, if this is like something done by a singular person or a very small team or like a very inexperienced small group of people, we apologize for what we're about to do because we're about to shit all over your work.
Mention how I mentioned executives.
I know.
I
don't understand how this is a thing.
This is a Crunchyroll original. Jobless was a Crunchyroll original. Jobless at least had good fucking animation.
Something can't be this bad without a story. That's what I'm just trying to say. We're gonna judge it by what it is, but I wanted to say this now instead of at the end. If you worked on this and you worked really hard, I am sorry, and I feel like we can speak. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to say no, but like, we are sorry, but we are not going to censor how we feel about this, and we're going to rip it to shreds. Keep doing what you're doing, keep trying, everyone starts somewhere, but this is not a success. Hate to break it to you in case you were somehow still convincing yourself it was. It wasn't.
Mom, can we get Ruby on the way home? We have Ruby at home, so Ruby at home.
Fucking right?
No. Look.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, really quick. I'm pretty sure that this is worse than Ruby Season 1. This looks worse than Ruby Season 1.
That's the joke. It's the joke of, we have blank at home. The blank at home. Hey, sorry, Gilly.
Sorry, Gilly. I'm just so mad.
The problem is, there's so much wrong with its animation. And then there's its story.
What story?
Exactly.
Hello, pacing. You know, are you there?
What really hurts me, this show, there's a certain feel I got from this, and maybe it was just me, but it felt like the show was trying to be fucking Ghost in the Shell.
Oh my god.
It felt like it was trying to be a new Ghost in the Shell.
Well,
like, it did not do it, but it felt like it was trying to.
Want to know why? This is an ecchi manga focused on the two female main characters who are friends with benefits. It's not supposed to be about the story, but Crunchyroll just took a shit all over the manga.
What story? Did you guys fucking follow anything?
The only reason I did is because I knew a bit about the manga before.
Like, I watched this with a friend because I knew it was going to be bad. I saw the trailer. I needed someone there with me. And then to tease them, I opened it again when I started hanging out with them on the next day, and I didn't even notice that his brother made androids and, you know, like, whatever. This show is, like, there's no pacing. Things just happen, and they just jump scenes as if we're supposed to fucking know what's happening. But I didn't. I followed 30% of it, and that's being generous.
It feels like this was 5 chapters in the manga. In fact, I think it was like 6 or 7 in the manga.
Like, just fucking... Look how bad everyone looks!
Yeah, it's... Like, let me preface this. I am not talking about the manga when I shit on this show. I actually might like the manga. I might sit down and read the manga. Because I want to see how fucked this show made it. Because, from what I've heard, as an ecchi, the manga is pretty good. Like, its story is non-existent, but it's, as an ecchi, it focuses on that basic level. I don't want to see what the ecchi scenes in this look like.
Don't stop. Oh.
I-
Yes. Yes. Yes.
her
Oh,
pussy has
robot.
corners.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god. Like their models aren't fucking
Minecraft
finished.
porn.
When the two girls were talking, the inside of their mouths were flesh colored.
Yummy.
It looked like they were about to kiss.
I don't care because it's going to be ugly. Look, okay, when I was watching this, I was cackling because I'm like, just fucking look how fucking dead they are. By the way, this screen cap, it opens like this. It's just this fucking dude staring lifelessly into your eyes, into your soul. They're so
He knows
dead.
what you've done.
They're
They're
so
good.
dead, and they're so ugly.
There's good CG anime out there. Ajin, Inuyashiki, Knights of Sidonia. This isn't one of them. Like,
This is like watching like a CG cartoon in the early 2000s on Cartoon Network, or
it's
like
worse.
honestly,
Reboot
this,
looks better.
you know what this is? This is a Newgrounds Flash game, and I feel bad because I feel like I'm disrespecting the hard artists on Newgrounds. Rip Flash, Rip Flash, rest in peace, Flash player. Was this made in Flash? I believe it.
I think it was made in Source, or not. I think it was made like Studio Filmmaker or something like that.
Did you guys like that their shadows 70% of the time was just their rig but black? Like blacked out?
I didn't notice there were even shadows. I was not that caring. I did not care that much.
It's the show
I
this show makes me uncomfortable because it hits the uncanny valley so hard, like to the max.
It's those fucking eyes. It's just those eyes.
It tilts his head like a robot in a horror movie. Ugh.
You know what's really upsetting is when it shows him next to his brother. The brother looks so much better because
the-
he's not fucking he's not
Yeah,
CG.
that was 2D. They were mixing 2D animations. Like, God, why couldn't you have just been an entirely 2D animated show?
You
Maybe
guys
have more
want?
to the etchy.
You guys want that
non-main
2D
character.
animation? That fucking webtoon Flash game, 2 lip
No,
flap
I
frames?
don't. But it just looked better than what we were looking at normally.
Oh,
Anything that's not a character that's focused on
oh,
looks
I don't know.
better.
I don't know if I agree with you. They're both equally bad in their own fucking way.
Like, I want to meet the executives who said this was okay, and I want to just look through their favorites on my anime list, and I just want to see Berserk 2016 at the top.
Points at Crunchyroll's other anime originals. This is anime, and points at X-Arms. And this is also anime. Starts aggressively. Crunchyroll, explain! Explain, Crunchyroll! I am confusion!
Noblesse at least had good animation. While its story fell flat for me, I never read the webtoon. Maybe it's good for people that read the webtoon. I don't know. I'm going to read the original manga of this, but I can't. This was so bad. It was unbelievably bad. And I had expectations, and it still let me down. I don't pay for Crunchyroll. Like, I don't have a Crunchyroll account, and I want my money back.
I pay for Crunchyroll.
Man,
This is not what I paid for.
there are 2 shows on Verve right now, and it's this and another one on our list, and I'm upset. We're beating a dead horse. Let me see if there's anything worth in my. Oh yes,
Any positives? We got any positives to say here?
no.
Girls
Yes.
are probably hot if they were in 2D.
No. This 2D is so fucking bad. Okay. This is the animation of like an indie studio making not a 3DS game, but a Nintendo DS game for the first time, and they try to do fucking some level of animation in it. It's really I've said it already. Like I don't want to. We're starting to repeat ourselves in this show.
How dare you insult my Nintendo DS launch titles like that?
If there's one thing I could say that's good about the fucking show is that the voice actors, bless their souls, they have no reason to try this hard for, but they are. The voice performances were pretty good.
I think that's about the only positive we can pick.
Yep.
Let's hold up cards.
Knife.
I don't want to give this. I don't want to give this show any more of my time. Knife.
You're gonna have to give it more of your time, sadly.
My least
Yeah,
will
no,
probably die.
This show
Knife.
deserves. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Gilly.
No, I'm killing it. I can't.
I'm gonna
I hate that I
be
have to
honest.
watch. I hate that I have to watch another episode of this.
I'm gonna be honest.
I do too.
The chat
At
saying
least
there
we
was
can
one
be-
other good thing about the show. The picture of the girls on the phone, the hot girls that are coming to the mixer, that was nicely drawn. They don't even give them. They don't even give the guys faces. Yeah, no. Knife. Absolutely fucking not. I'm flattered that you would want to go on a date for me, but you need to. You don't need to be dating right now.
Work on
XR.
yourself.
Yeah, you don't need to be dating right now, XARM. You need to work on yourself, girl or boy, person. Like, take this.
What are you?
That's yeah, like take this, take all of this that you are right now, and just go home and just really look into yourself because if you believe in yourself, I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to be better. But I apologize, I can't be there for this right now. What is this garbage? Not trash. Trash is entertaining. Trash is intentionally bad. What is this utter garbage? It looks terrible. It looks so bad. I tried, guys, chat, viewers. I tried to get past the looks, but the pacing is awful. The story is what? The animations and models aren't finished, and I can't follow what the fuck is going on. It's
the starting fight, like where you see the two girls fighting. What the fuck?
It's so bad.
I tried to be unbiased too. That's why I refused to watch the trailer for this. I just went into it completely blind, which I almost feel like was a bigger mistake.
Like
I could have expected to be this hurt.
My first thought when I watched the trailer was, if this is the best you have the show, I don't want to see what the worst is. And then I saw the arm outside of the it got worse.
It got worse.
Can we talk about our next show, please?
I just remember two things. They're like they're running away from the Yakuza or fucking gang members, and they hide on the ship and they're like, we have to stealth, and then they start laughing and arguing and like they open the X-Arm thing and just start yelling and talking about it, and I'm like, what? You're supposed to be fucking stealthing. And then when the android girl shoots X-Arm, Mr. X-Arm 8, did you see how fucking tiny those bullets were? Did you see how fucking small they were?
Pellets.
They were BBs.
Don't you love how slow motion the bullets go, just to make sure you know that there's bullets there?
God, I really don't mean to shit on people who made this like right off the bat throughout the whole session, but like, how could this come out in 2020, 2021?
We're not insulting them. They were obviously given something impossible to work with. I'm sure it was an executive decision, like, hey, we want this to be source filmmaker made because we're declaring war on all source filmmaker animations. Ruby standing by with a fucking shotgun ready to old yeller this shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Joe Apocalypse said, Ruby is a show with an initial budget of $7. This is a show with a total budget of $2.
This show is why Crunchyroll is for sale.
X-Arm was made in Unity.
Oh god.
This really is the anime of 2020-21.
It's 2020 New Game Plus. Anyways. So I'm a spider. So what? Episode 1. Spider is in class one day where a phenomenon happens where she and her classmates are all reincarnated. She is reincarnated into a spider and must feast on her kin and fight acidic frogs to survive, while
Oh, you cut out
her
me.
teacher and classmates were
You
reincarnated
cut
into
out.
people and dragons. Oh.
While reincarnate and eat acidic frogs.
Eating acidic frogs to survive, while her teacher and classmates were reincarnated into people and dragons. The show didn't do a whole lot for me. I'm not gonna. Unlike Kuma Bear, where I'm like, why the fuck does anyone. It just did nothing for me.
Gilly?
Oh, was I cutting out?
No, I heard you. Oh, is there more that you want to say?
Oh no, okay. I didn't see the green bar lighting up for.
No, you're good. Gilly?
I was concerned from when I did watch the trailer for this one, and I was concerned because of CG that I saw. I'm actually really interested. And it wasn't really the awful that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's not awful. It just didn't do anything for me personally.
I'm with me. This show kind of was what I expected it, what I thought it was going to be. That it wasn't a phenomenon. They got fucking orbital cannon nuked. Well, I guess it wasn't a nuke because there was no mushroom clown, but they just got orbital cannon Exodia obliterated.
Yeah, but we don't have it explained to us, so for now it's a like.
Yeah, fair
There
enough.
was some stuff in it too. It's just it was so few and far between. It felt like I was like waiting for next funny moment. Like, also, by the way, am I the only one that thought the cannibalism scene was played as a joke?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, because I got yelled at in a call the other day, but I swear up and down they were playing that as a joke.
They were. They were playing the shock humor to the shocked reaction of a human living as spiders, because spiders can't. That's something I do see the show doing. They're trying to teach people about spiders, like how their web works, and strategies like spider strategies of designing web, and that they're cannibalistic, and then the mothers will eat their babies to recover their energy from giving birth to so many babies. A very strange evolutionary development, and it's that is meant to be shocking, but it's also played for humor because they're not going to fucking. What? You want this show to have someone come to the fucking mind-breaking realization that they're in a cannibalistic family? Like, what? That's not what this show is.
Yeah, and from the people that I was talking about earlier, I was being a bit harsh. They weren't yelling at me, but they were teasing me about it, but that's why I thought I was crazy. Apparently in the manga it's played as a lot more. A lot of things in the manga are actually played as horror. So I'm just
You cut out. It's
if
played a lot more
anything,
what?
it's played a lot more like horror in the manga.
Ah.
I have a friend of mine who reads a lot of manga and he's telling me about this one. This is one of her favorite manga. And when I was talking about the show, I'm like, I mean, I don't mean to trash it, just it did nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I'm kind of in the same boat. It's like it doesn't do anything different. I might have laughed. Like it's constantly. I like the lead. I like how much effort the voice actress, the voice talent for our main character, our spider, is putting in. I appreciate her effort, but the jokes don't really land with me. There was a few times I got a chuckle, but after like five, in like a 10-minute, like after like yeah, in like a 10-15 minute span, it's like okay, we get it. You're shocked and confused, but then she just sits down and starts analyzing things, which okay, it's funny, but this show has come out too late. All other isekais have done it. Slime has done the whole like voice in your head analysis, skill upgrades, and this one is like self-deprecating, and I'm like, it's not funny. It's not for me.
Also, I understand why it did it, and I do appreciate anime. Or I do appreciate the whole trope of they get isekai, then they instantly accept it. But we just had an isekai last season that did that, so it also did nothing for me.
Yeah, I was going to make the joke that like, um, what happened in the school is that Ainz Gon from Overlord saw this isekai coming and just went to their school and is like, absolutely not, maximum magic, fall down, and just destroyed them. But, like, there are shows that have already done this, there are shows that have done this better. I get the premise. I can see good threads in this spider web, but I don't want to walk into it.
It's just not for us, ultimately.
Should we hold up cards?
I mean, let Keely, is there anything else you want to say? I know there were
Hello?
the Waiwamosh scene.
Yeah, I'm just asking, like, yeah, sorry, my apologies. Gilly, if there's other things you want to say on the show, I've said what I want to say.
I'll give my vote for it. I don't have anything to delve into anymore now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Well, for holding up cards, then I'm gonna give the show at least 2 episodes, so I'll fuck it for now. But it did not do much for me this episode. If it continues, gonna get the knife.
Gilly,
Yeah.
you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'm gonna fuck this show. I actually really like everything I'm encountering. I also think there's a bit of a jadedness because honestly, with this, I've watched 4 isekai total ever.
Oh, so for you it's a
That makes
lot
sense.
less
And
old.
here's the thing. Of what I've watched, it has been only the first season of Overlord, Kuma Bear, far too much of Sword Art Online, and then this.
Because I hate myself, I ended up watching season 3 of Sword Art Online. It
Like I
made me
did,
upset.
I was upset. I didn't even watch season 2. I just watched the second part of season 1, and I was done.
I don't blame you.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Is it cheating to vote knife knowing that the show can't die this season? Not this season, this episode.
I won't say it's. I'd say just vote with your heart.
Yeah. Um, I am holding up a knife. I will admit that it is a lot. I'm a lot less hesitant. I think if the show could die right now, I think it would be an eggplant because I'm not against giving the show, but I'm not excited about it. Uh, it's just at the end of it, I just sat there and went, eh. Like it's just neat jokes and your usual isekai chaos. Like I already said it, but the humor didn't do it for me. The lead is funny. Her performance is really good. Even if the jokes don't always land for me, but it's just I wasn't getting a lot. I wasn't getting a lot from it. Like I will say this, we didn't talk about this. The ending is actually really good. I thought the ending was really really good. It's
I was actually
complete
about to bring that
chaos.
up. How do you feel about the mess that is the ending theme?
I thought it was
I understand
hilarious.
why this anime has the idol tag.
Yeah,
That's why.
I thought it was amazing. It was complete chaos, but it was amazing chaos to watch. It
Mm-hmm.
fits the show, which is kind of just like what the fuck, but like
Spider rave.
Spider Idol
It's
rave
not just
concert metal show.
spiders. Like there's so many monsters in the audience raving. Like you saw more frogs.
Hey, I don't care. Frog Boy Idol fan is my favorite character.
So it's going to be like the audience is just filled with like probably the probably the mobs that she's going to be repeatedly killing.
There was actually another thing I wanted to bring up after we bring up this idol. Now that I remember.
Yeah, sure. Just to finish my vote. I got sirens coming in, so you go.
Oh fuck. What I was just gonna bring up is the only joke that actually made me chuckle a little bit was the joke where one of the guys was reincarnated as a. He's like, it took me a bit to get used to it, but now I'm used.
Oh, as a girl.
But yeah, I didn't like the joke though, where it's like, oh, the teacher is now a lolly. Fun of the guy's sister because, oh, haha, do you do bad things to your sister, Konohamaru?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Like, okay, enter sister, like, sister who's attracted to her Oni-chan. Like, we have this trope. We have the fucking dude, the Lord Fighter Prince dude is a fucking douchebag. I hate him. And, like, I also don't trust this show to handle the guy turning into a girl well. Like, it wasn't bad. I don't have good expectations from this show.
I wonder if it's gonna play the joke of like, oh, it's Kamina when he was a girl. Just starts
What
choking
about
himself.
the one who's, I'm pretty sure from the way that she did her movements, was a popular girl that got turned into some weird tiny little dog lizard
The
thing.
dragon? Yeah, she got turned.
Yeah, I actually liked her. She was nice.
She
She
likes getting
definitely
pets.
was a she definitely was like one of the popular girls, the way that she did, like the way her movements were.
Yeah,
Oh, also, since Gilly, you brought this up, yeah, I thought the ending was my favorite thing about the episode, about the show thus far. To answer your question, Gilly, but also Spider CG, not as bad as Berserk, 2016, but it's
It's
still
made by
weird.
the same studio.
Yeah, yeah, like they've improved, but it's still weird for me because it just doesn't feel like it fits. It's less janky, sure. I think for like the opening and the ending, it's really good. Um, but at the end of the day, this is what I'll say. I think this show does have charms to it. Like there's some charm in there. I just don't think it's for me. That's it.
yeah. It'll probably live to 3 episodes because I'm assuming it gets at least one fuck next episode. We know it's gonna die next episode. But
Sorry,
I
chat.
believe
Sorry, listeners and viewers. Like, not to remove the air of mystery, but I,
it's we were already very thorough on what we want to happen to X Arm. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm always gonna vote with my heart. There might be a wheel next week. You never know. But
what's
for
next?
now, we move on to Musho Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Episode 1. A man is hit by a truck and is reincarnated with 2 horny rabbits for parents. He learns this world of magic and trains hard to learn. And when his parents find out he has potential, they hire a tutor to help their son to help teach their son magic. They fucked in front of the baby.
Well, they fucked to the side of the baby.
They fucked in the
Now,
same
Valorant,
room as the
you talk
newborn
about
baby.
you talk about neat jokes, but the literal description of this show refers to our main character as a 30-something-year-old neat.
I I'll I know what I have to say about this show. What I don't have written down, I will say this: the parents are the best part of the show.
Exactly. Thank you. Ah, I love them so much.
The
'Cause
absolute
it's
fucking dumbass but sweetheart Chad. I believe the new term is what bimbo, not bimbo, himbo.
himbo.
Yeah, the absolute like sweet Chad himbo of a dad. This absolute dumbass with who just like is a like he's a warrior, right? He's just like Fido dude. He's unga bunga, but he's like he's a good dad. He cares, and just this like lovely mom. Ah, God, they're delightful.
Why is Sylvina in this anime?
Is dad Brawler?
No, his he's a little bit. No, I think him and Brawler might get
Great.
along, but
Now I need to get Brawler and Sylvina art done. Thanks, Gilly.
Ugh.
What, you don't like black guy and white woman?
well, me.
You
That's a
know
bad
that's
joke.
not what I'm talking about.
I know, I'm teasing you.
That's a bad joke. Fuck off. But yeah, no,
I'm
it's just
sorry.
I fucking love Gilly's just. Ugh.
See that
What was
I just honestly, I'll take it a little bit farther personally. It's only the main character I don't like.
Yep.
yeah?
It's like the tutor that comes in, who's just this definitely young, self-conscious kind of uh wizard girl who's just I liked her too. It's
Rip
just
I
the
Tree
main
Chan.
character.
I liked how she looked. She felt like much less of a character than compared to everyone else.
Rip Tree Chan.
Okay, that scene did make me laugh when she fixed it because the kid was like, mom's gonna be mad at you. And she's like, ah, and like ran and fixed it. And then he broke it and she still got in trouble for it. I thought it was cute. And then he hit on her and tried to seduce her.
What would
He,
a
The
visual
issue,
novel character do?
it's so there's didn't he make a dating sim joke?
yep.
Or yeah, sorry. Dating sims and visual novels are so similar to me.
I think no, that moment he made a light novel, but there was a dating sim reference
There,
too.
yeah, he made a bunch of reference and jokes about that, several different kinds of media like that. Uh,
As far as,
and
sorry, go ahead.
I'd say part of it is because like this is what happens when you put a 30-something-year-old in a child's mind, but at the same time, that girl is definitely not. I don't think she was of age, so that just makes it weirder.
Yeah.
I
You know,
think no, I think they straight up refer to Roxy as a lolly, which
well,
Ah,
still has its implications. But
yeah.
I will say this:
While we're
like, I don't really care for Roxy's character all that much because I felt like she was far less. We're gonna see more of her in episode 2, right? But like,
yeah.
I did really like her design, the color of her hair, how it looks in the sunset, her robes, like. I really like her colors. Like her whole character design visually is delightful.
While we're on isekai, actually, this is unrelated, but I do want to just quickly mention this. I want an isekai where it's about made by a studio that makes like made a famous anime where a character dies, like something like made by the people who made Gurren Lagann, where it's Kamina gang reincarnation. I want to see something like that. That would be an isekai. I'd be interesting in like seeing a character that we already know from other series being isekai. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually didn't mind Roxy's character all that too much either because I do like how she when like sometimes you see idiot parents trying to teach their kids and then they're like we're still here fuckhead.
And because the protagonist, our main character, likes Roxy, like actually likes her. I think he likes her both as a person, and I think he like thinks she's cute too.
Sexual. Yeah.
When she starts like doing that, he's like, Roxy, we can hear. No, we can still hear you, Roxy Chan. What are you doing? Like he's rooting for her, which is cute.
Yeah. Parents were the best part of the show. Like Soma Spider, it felt like we were waiting for the next funny moment to happen. It I overall I liked the parents. They were such a big part of this episode.
His
I
parents
loathe
fuck.
yeah.
You know
I
they.
loathe when they are no longer a part of the show.
Mm,
Because we know that's gonna happen. He's gonna get sent to a school at some point, most likely. I like they even have, the joke where the parents in the next room. I can't
you're
take
cutting in
it.
and out.
I'm just getting started.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. They straight up have. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. They straight up have sex in the show. Not visually, but there is audio of her getting rammed.
Yes. Do you think
Hard.
sometimes the maid joins in?
The kid is in the next room just looking through a magic book, flipping pages like a fucking kid who's trying not to listen to their parents have sex, except he okay, to for the fairness of the show, the kind of main character we had, that scene could have been far more disgusting if he started like jerking off to his parents having sex. Fortunately, the show
I
didn't
don't.
go there.
I don't think he's gonna go there, but at the same time, there was this level of there was no real uncomfortability because the kid doesn't at this point he still doesn't even see these as really as parents in a lot of ways, so
No, I think
it's
he
still
sees them as his
uncomfortable.
parents. I think he sees them as like off limits because he even says like I'm lucky to be able to grope like this hottie's like chest, but unfortunately I don't get any sexual excitement from it because well, she's my mother.
Well, he's also not through puberty yet, Dal. He can't get sexually excited. He's not through puberty yet.
Oh, you think that's what the No, he did get sexually excited when her... Oh, you mean back then? Okay, okay. It's this weird fucking argument, right? Because he's like this 30-year-old fucking degenerate in like a kid's
He can't
body.
even get a boner. Physically, he can't.
I
He's
don't
not through puberty.
I don't like that this show is making me question and think about these things.
I don't either. It's a show about this 35-year-old man in a Shota's body wanting to fucking fuck women.
It's not a Shota body, it's a literal child.
That's what Shota is.
Yeah, but Shota can be
is
applied as like Shota can also be equivalent of like Lolly, which is like someone who's older just looks very young and like a little boy. This is explicitly a child.
It's still a literal child though. The sexual that people get out of that is, oh, that's a naked child.
I mean, they did show him naked. It wasn't sexual.
Part of what upsets me a decent amount about just this episode and this so far what's happened is I like the style that this is drawn in, and it just hurts me.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of
because I got interest. What made me interested when I looked at some of this stuff ahead of time was I liked the animation style. I liked how it looked.
I warned you, Gilly. I'm not being like I told you, but like I fucking told you. I warned you. This show's gonna pull this shit. It's gonna suck. To be fair, you were like, let's just see and give it a chance. You were right, but
I think I'm ready to move on to cards. How about you two?
I am. How about you, Gilly?
I do not ever weigh a 100% opinion on anything until I actually watch it.
And I respect you for it.
I'm gonna fuck this show, give it at least one more episode, see how involved the parents get, but I'm not hopeful. Because I hate this main character. I like Roxy, I like the parents, but it's hard when you have a main character that you hate. The only time I can really accept shows like that is in shonen when the side characters are also such a big part. Like Fairy Tail is a big example of that for me. Like I hate Natsu with a passion, but he gets equal amount of screen time as the side characters, so I can't really complain. I mean, I can, but it's no use. How about you, Dal?
I'm holding up a knife. Much like the spider anime, this is exactly what I expected it to. Well, not exactly. Let me not be dramatic. Unfortunately, this was what I expected it to be, and I wasn't excited going in. It's just at the end of the episode, I was not all that interested. Like the arts, I agree with Gilly. I'm glad Gilly said it. The art style is really nice. It's not as nice as some of the shows we had last year, but the soft country style colors, the wood, the glass, the way the water looks, you know, the landscapes, while far less detailed than like Moriarty or Tabi Tabi or Akudama, are still pleasant. You know, Magus Bride, it's not, but you know it. The show is drawn really well. Characters emote really nicely. Sometimes like to like a very funny expression, and sometimes to just like this very nice character expressiveness to everyone. The magic looks interesting. I'm getting more magic out of it, what I wanted from Tabi Tabi. Like, if there's anything that I'm curious about or interested in the show is how they continue explaining magic, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to make him into this prodigy that blows it out of the water, which, again, been there, seen that.
Even
Otherwise,
high school prodigies have it tough in the next life, Dalrymple.
Yeah, that show's garbage.
It is.
Yeah,
it is absolutely garbage. I had to watch it for the first time. Me and a couple other friends ever tried to do an FMK.
Yeah, no. It's unfortunately the show is what I feared it to be. Degenerate main character and a degenerate adult, not even just a neat or an otaku, like an actual, like he's fucking gross. He's fucking gross. And in a child's body, which is already fucked up, but then he's going to be hitting and perving on women. This isn't for me. No, it's gross. I don't like it. I started talking about the things I liked about the show, and it made me reconsider my knife, and then I just said that, and no, knife.
Do you think the girls that he, or not the girls, but the high school students he saved by the truck, do you think they were like a group of pretty girls?
I don't care. Also, like, I
the
will say
police
one
are...
thing. I do hope we
Sorry.
get more of the maid next episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, while the police are arresting Dalaran,
God damn
I can
it.
hear the siren.
Fuck, I'm
Julie,
sorry.
what is your vote?
I it's a hard thing to even weigh in on. I I'm going to give it the I'm going to fuck it, but very cautious about it. I'm waiting to see. Like, I don't think anything will make me like the main character, but if there's, you know, enough side characters, I might just pretend he's not there.
Yeah, maybe. I... Yeah. Well,
So what's the
anyway,
verdict on this one? Triple knife or?
two fucks and a knife.
Oh, okay.
Well, again, it's too trepidatious.
Yeah.
Like, would you say it's as trepidatious as your final fuck that you did for Akudama? As I stall for time as I get Dungeon Boonies up.
Uh, honestly, when I the last the last fuck that I gave for Akudama before I started shifting my vote last season, I kind of already knew how I wanted to start voting, but I wanted to give it one last chance.
Fair.
So
Well,
that was less trepidatious and more just I knew where I was already leaning, but wanted to hope.
well, it's two fucks and a knife. Jobless Reincarnation. Now, we are moving on to Suppose Dungeon Boonies. Okay, I'll say the full name because this is the first episode, but it's a long ass name. Suppose a kid from the last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. Episode 1. Lloyd is a strong boy from the last Dungeon Boonies, moves to a town to join the military. He meets a witch named Marie, who takes him and accidentally using a cloth removes a famous curse, the Belt Princess. After he takes the test to join the military, but he fails despite his talent. I enjoyed this episode. There were a lot of funny moments. While they were a bit few and far between for me, it was enough for me to enjoy. I absolutely loved when Lloyd was talking to Rico and the Belt Princess just fucking knocked her out of frame.
That was amazing. Yeah. You also I
I
appreciated the show
wept.
adding the sound effect of crackling rock. It didn't show it, but we knew that the moment the camera shifted, this bitch was gonna be in the statue. Like in
It was so fucking great because it was so out of nowhere. You just hear
This is Isekai doing humor right. This did work for me. Huh? Oh, sorry. This is fantasy anime doing humor right. This worked for me.
It was there was so much just there was this nice little this combination of just cute moments and comedy and there's things I looked up out of curiosity. You know the witch girl is also only 15.
What? No, get
Not
the
the
fuck out.
they're all the main cast other than the one lolly are all 15. Well, they're all 15 except for the robot arm girl who's 17.
God damn it.
Can't believe she has an X arm.
They made them all the same age except for the great witch lolly who's 100 plus.
You're telling me that Mari is 15.
Yes.
Yes.
Why? Just have her be an adult.
Because
Why?
Dalaran, anime can't have adults. That's illegal.
I was looking it up out of curiosity to make sure I had names, and they are all 15 except for the delinquent who's 17.
Rio, yeah.
Am
I'm
I
just
the only one who got... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, me.
I was gonna say, am I the only one who got Saya vibes from Princess?
From who?
The Belt Princess.
Celine? She's horny, sure, but like, it makes sense.
I got heavy Saya vibes from her.
Yeah, but
Because
surprisingly, I didn't mind it. I know what you're talking about, the ending scene. I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? No, this is okay. I mean, I'm worried that they're going to overuse it and actually make her into Saya, which is she's just a one-dimensional character, which I really hope they don't. I really want to see her kick. I want to see her kick that noble cunt's ass. But yeah.
It's not like it he was like the only person that apparently has been nice to her, which is sad.
It makes sense.
Everyone's always mean to her because of the curse, and he was still nice to her, and she wanted to get all dolled up for him, and then she realized the belts are still there, and then it clicked for me when the belts came off. Oh my fucking god! He used the same napkin that he has the curse removal on by
Because he doesn't understand that it's a curse removal, which is I knew the moment he
yeah.
did it. I'm like, here we go, and she's cute.
Like it didn't click for me when he first did it when he first wiped her off, and then it took me a second after the belt came off for no reason. It clicked in my head and like, oh my fucking god.
And she's cute. Like she's a literal battle princess, and I'm rooting for her.
I like how she still has all the belts too. She didn't get rid of them. She's just wearing them in her clothes now.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Also, like
Which
she has a
it's
dress. She has like a poofy, like she has like kind of like a pom dress with like armor on it, and it's for some reason it's not stupid to me.
yeah, purely judging by episode 1, because I did end up watching episode 2. So this is
Meep.
purely
You're not supposed to do that. We
I
have a
didn't
strict rule, Meep. We don't watch the second episode until the FMK is over.
What do you mean until the FMKs?
I'm wagging my finger at you. Dadaron is very upset.
Judging purely by the first episode. This is me judging by the first episode, I promise.
Okay.
Also, I need to rewatch the second episode because it was like fucking 1 a.m. when I watched it.
But yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, no, I actually enjoyed this episode quite a bit, and it was surprising to me when I found out that I'd failed. The lolly grandma joke got funny, and I loved the small misfortunes.
Oh god, it's such a good
continuous curse of continuous small misfortunes.
She has a world power rune, and she uses it to curse her for the day of small infortunes.
I can't wait for grand misfortunes. She just gets a call. Your grandmother died.
Oh, what? That's sad. No.
I fully expect this lolly grandma to be that petty.
I do like the lolly. I normally don't like lolly humor. Again, this show is somehow manages to nail it. I think Marie's relationship with what's the name? Akla? Alka.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. It was a really weird one.
It's because it's not played for sexual.
Exactly.
Like she's horny for the kid, but
yeah, I don't like that. That gave me. Yeah, that gave me
wanting to cuddle with Lloyd. So it's really that was a little weird.
What I hope, yeah, I didn't like that much, but I'm hoping that the show either keeps it in very small doses or actually makes it platonic, where she does it to specifically tease Lloyd.
One thing I want to bring up off of like the actual occurrences and like writing. I love how this show looks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call this style, but like the actual lines around characters is it felt a lot thicker, and it was just really nice. Characters popped on backgrounds, and I really enjoyed that. It is so much. It was really, the colors were good. Everything was decently designed. The monsters were actually, I thought they wouldn't be as good as they were, even though all we saw was a giant locust. That's kind of all we need.
We saw a really well dragon in the back.
I kept running.
There was a dragon, but it was
I love that. I kept running into these animals. He's explaining them. Lloyd, those are monsters. Those are monsters. Start shaking him. Those are monsters.
Oh,
I love how
Marie-san,
he's
I think I know the difference between insects and lizards and
no
monsters.
no, it's even better. Even I know the difference between monsters and animals.
I do agree with
There was
you.
a little bit of self-deprecating humor in that, but like
Before we
still.
before we talk about Baby Link, because he is Baby Breath of the Wild Link, and you literally can't convince me otherwise. Um, he even has
I
the fucking color scheme. I agree with Gilly. I did really like how the show looks. One thing that I really liked was how in the iris, in the pupil, each character kind of has this little color dot that kind of highlights and really complements the color of the iris. So I thought that was really nice and something I might want to start including in my character in character art that I commission or that I get. Um, but this show does suffer from can you spot the protagonists? Because when everyone was online, a lot of people looked really bland, and you could really tell who the important characters were.
Yeah,
yeah.
that doesn't really bother me very much because I'm used to that. A lot of
Same.
the background characters are just exactly that, background characters.
Not upset, just thought I'd point it out. But yeah, let's talk about Baby Link.
I enjoy him.
Toon
Laser Soapy
Link!
doesn't get rating.
Yeah.
He gives me the Gon personality vibes that I thought I was gonna get off of him.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like that's what I talked about before, that like he kind of that's the vibe I was getting with the little bit I did know, and it's kind of cemented that for me. Not exactly, but just similar. I've I honestly I like that though. It's really nice.
I mean, we go from one. I actually like that Jobless and Boonies are back to back because we go from one main character, little like young boy main character, to that we don't like to one that I think we all do like. Little Link is adorable. I like him. I do worry that his whole like, oh, I can't do anything shtick is gonna get old, but because even watching it right now, I'm like, okay, like, come on, dude, like, please don't let that be your whole personality. But also, he's such a sweetheart. Like, he cooks. He's such a good bean. He's such a good guy. He's such a good kid. I love him. He's a good boy.
Part of his whole
Yeah.
reason for being that way is from from uh from what we understand. Now, part of the description was very wrong because it sounded like he was picked on, but it was more just in comparison. A lot of people in his town are stronger than him, but it's because of where they are.
Yeah. That's the thing, Meep. You said like a strong boy from a town. Like no, a weak boy from a legendary town comes to a village to a city where
Yeah.
he is strong boy.
Even the military conductor is like sitting there like, what the fuck is he?
I
He's sitting
loved
here as a
that scene.
he's
I
sitting here as this level 50 character in a town of level 5s at
it
best.
was amazing. Like first of all, Riho's whole thing where she was just sitting and like she's like analyzing everyone's like, oh, okay, I can see the competition stiff, but everyone's better than me. And then closes the book and like, but I should focus on what's important. What the fuck is sitting next to me?
I do love how everyone's like,
Tiger.
then there's this asshole.
And the only scene better than that scene was when she comes up to like like I don't know who he is, lieutenant, the corporate, like I don't know what he is, but like the military supervisor. I think he was, what was he, Colin? Or no, I think Meltfon. Regardless, there was the captain officer and the younger girl, the redhead girl, and the tall dude who kind of looks like Master from Akudama Drive. She approaches him, and he's always composed. The younger girl, I think Colin was his name, was always like, asking questions, a little bit peppier. She's like a little bit spunkier, and he's the like stoic, very like composed military leader. And then Riho, the bandit girl, comes up to him. The bandit merc comes up to him, which got Dinnereth vibes off of her if she wasn't a cop. And is like, so what's the deal with him? And he just goes, I have no fucking idea. I have been watching him from the moment he's walked into town. You have no idea and you brought him here? He's a volunteer, man.
And then the one girl goes, yeah, he's from this city. And everyone's like, he's what?
I don't think that happened in the first episode, dude.
No, I swear, because definitely doesn't happen in the second episode.
This is why we don't watch 2 episodes, Meepers.
No, I can tell you it doesn't happen. I swear there's a scene like the first one.
I remember, like, at the end, they're like, this kid who comes from a town of legendary, and, like, that was Alka talking about it, but it wasn't to everyone else. It was between her and Marie.
Because I know it, because I remember the events of episode 2, and I can tell you it doesn't happen in episode 2.
Yeah. But yeah, this show, the humor did it for me. It looks really great. I love the character designs. Both Little Link Lloyd and Celine are adorable in the way. Marie is like scratching the Majo no Tabi Tabi aesthetic itch. Alka's a little weird. She kind of reminds me of what's her name from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Hestia. She reminds me of Hestia a lot. Just like not huge tits lolly. Riho's cool. I look forward to her getting her comeuppance in the upcoming episodes. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think I just held up my card.
Yes, you did.
Do you guys want to talk about more stuff, or can I just hold up the card for ceremony's sake?
Go ahead. I think we're at a good point here.
Yeah, it's a fuck. I'm fucking this show. This show did for me what the previous show, what Jobless Reincarnation didn't. I am very curious to see. I really want there to be character growth from Little Link Lloyd. And I am very curious to see the show's reason for not giving him he didn't pass the test. And what I expect for it to happen is either he's literally too strong, which I hope that's not what the show does, because, oh, haha, funny. I just hope, like, maybe he just failed his written exam. I have no fucking idea, because we didn't get to see him attack the dummy.
I'm gonna posit Pierre has watched it, but I'm gonna posit that maybe when he attacked the dummy, he swung so hard it broke the sword, and he didn't get a chance to do anything.
Smart. But yeah, I really look forward to the next episode.
Which is already out because it airs on Mondays, which is the whole thing with that.
And we never
it came out yesterday.
Well, I'm sorry, the hearing in my left ear went out.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not blaming you.
It still is. I could feel it now.
I ended up watching it at 1 a.m. this morning.
What's the point in hearing? I mean, what do you really use
Shut up, Gilly.
Listen, Dalaran, it's fine. We'll take you to Lieutenant Surumi, and you know what happens with him.
Look, Dal, do you really need to hear? Do you want to be able to hear us?
No, I fucking hate both of you. This is why I do this with you every week.
If you, I mean, you you could even probably set your headset up so that you only hear us in your left ear.
Ah, fuck this guy. I mean, guys, I already talk as if I'm the only one here, so.
Oof.
So, I'm gonna give this show. I'm gonna give this show the fuck. There are no characters over 15 except Lolly Grandma that we know verifiably.
Well,
so
you said
far,
the bandit
so I can't
girl.
say
The merc.
She's 17.
Oh, okay.
There's also the shitty ass noble, but
he's 14.
Nah. Depends on how old. I guess how old do you think the assistant to what seems to be some sort of guard captain is?
She's probably older than him. Watch.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
I too, I'm gonna give this show the fuck.
I'll lean towards her and then hope that I'm not doing something illegal.
I'm gonna give this show the fuck. I'm gonna find a nice lady in town who is of age.
Lolly grandma's in the closet.
I don't want to bang a child.
I have a question since we're talking about characters.
Yeah.
Little Link Lloyd's Oni-san, the older brother, they are very delicate looking to the point where I thought they were a female. Are they
I thought that was
trans?
I thought that was a woman too. I don't think that's I don't think that's what they're doing with that. I think they just like designed them very feminine.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait.
From
I say Breath of the Wild, but really this little Link is a combination of Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword. Also, one last thing about this show.
I get slightly Wind Waker vibes off of him.
It's because he's small. Toon Link.
the only Legend of Zelda game I've played is Breath of the Wild, so I can't speak.
Oh, you should check out some of those. It's a good time. I will say this. The one thing I don't want this show to do is the same thing I don't want the show, the same thing I don't want Jobless Reincarnation to do, but in reverse. Because Mari, she's really pretty. I actually really like Mari's design. She's pretty. Her personality is not the best, in my opinion, but to hear that she's 15 is mind-blowing to me because I thought she was like 21.
Yeah.
I don't want everyone to be on Little Link's dick. Like, I don't want them. I don't want that. That's something I really would not, and be disappointed from the show if it did it.
You don't want harem.
I want good times. I want people to be impressed. I want Serene to fiend and be thirsty for Lloyd. But I don't want him to be super fetishized. No.
Well, we can only tell from future weeks, but for now, let's move on to Idoly Pride Episode 1. Idol Girl and her classmate Makino joins an agency as she competes in an idol competition, but tragically, she dies in an accident on the way there. And now we are with a grief-stricken Makino learning to live with grief. Nope, just kidding, she's a ghost now, get fucked, normie! An anime has never made me felt more insulted than this fucking heap of dog shit.
Yeah, our protagonist is fucking crazy.
What could have been such a good show where I thought it was going. I started off, no expectations, started doing something for her when she died, and it was like, oh no, he's our main character. It's gonna be a show about grief and learning to deal with loss. No, she's a fucking ghost. Like, and now we have her younger sister who's going to be the idol. And
I mean, do we?
That's her younger sister. She looks exactly like the girl that died.
She looks exactly like her, but we don't know if they're related.
Well, when you see, because you see her in the idol costume at the start, and I thought that was because the reason I know it's the younger sister is because we see at the start all the idols, she's last, and I thought that, okay, that's her, and then we went to the flashback. I'm like, okay, we're flashing back to when she wasn't an idol. And then she died, and I got super fucking confused. Then upset when she turned into a ghost.
I knew she was gonna die. The show did a good job. Like, if you didn't pick up on it from the introductionary scene, the show did a very good job at making you think that everything was gonna go well. But like, I have mixed feelings. Go on.
I don't have any mixed feelings. I only have feelings of rage and anger because of the fucking stunt they pulled by turning her into a ghost.
I will say this. First of all, our main character looks like a Persona protagonist. He looks like a combination of you and Joker from Persona 4 and Persona 5. He's cool. What's with this spoilers? What's with this season and giving us like outcast boy characters, like unpopular high school boy characters who are super fucking pretty and handsome? But I digress. But it makes sense that he is a Persona character because I never saw it coming that she would become a ghost. I did not see it coming.
Am I crazy for feeling insulted because they were setting up for it really well, and when she died, I was like, yes, this is really well done. This is going to be an idol anime about grief and loss and exploring how, even though she died and it was a tragedy, the idol machine keeps chugging along. Like, I thought it was going to be exploring the in-depth, what I wanted, the dark part of the idol industry.
Wasn't
What
this
I
the
was
idol
wanting.
show that's about like like how hard the idol industry can be?
Yep. And they turn her into a ghost, which is the worst thing they could have done.
Yes. How
What
about
what
you,
are your
Gilly?
thoughts,
Yeah.
Gilly?
Um, this is going to sound really bad, but I guess this show, I was so out of it and confused trying to watch the show, I didn't realize anybody died. The show, I was just so confused and didn't know what was happening the whole time. That explains something.
You know why? Because Meep is really upset that they brought her back to life. I'm really upset that they killed her off screen.
Just, I missed that somebody died.
The main girl that you see Makino with, she fucking dies, and they don't even say how. I'm assuming accident.
I was just so confused the entire time I was watching this. Like I didn't know what was happening, and I just got I I really didn't know what was happening apparently.
I don't blame you. Because, like I
It had me
said,
like really thrown off. I was trying to pay attention and I was like, what's going on? And apparently I was really, really, really confused.
Do you
I
want
mean,
to hear a sin?
really quick, just I know that like I felt like they were death flagging her super hard because of how the introduction sequence happens. But like I said, if you miss that death flag, I can totally like Gilly. Thank you. Like I can totally see someone if they didn't catch that they'd be like not picking up on it throughout because they were. If you paid attention to like the animation and the angles and like the dark shading and stuff, like okay, death flag. But if you're just watching the events, everything seems to be coming up. Everything seems to be coming up mana. Um, but like the moment she took the stage for the first time, I'm like, what's gonna happen? Is someone just gonna shoot her? Is she just gonna get down Mr. President on stage? Like what's happening? Like I didn't know how they
What?
were gonna kill her, and then they just did it off camera after she got into a car. No
So
explanation.
what I thought was happening was because we cut to the studio and people are like, "Oh, where is she? What's happening?" I thought she wasn't going up on stage because he wasn't there. I thought
Yeah,
that's what it was saying. Was like, "Oh, they're trying to rush him there because she's refusing to perform while he's not there," and then she's fucking dead. I'm like, "Oh, this can be really interesting." Okay, you're seeing him.
yeah.
He's grieving,
The
mourning
show
the loss.
intended. Sorry.
Yeah, he's grieving. He's mourning loss. He went back to his old classroom. Yes, she's a ghost. I'm gonna say it's sin. I'd rather watch another episode of X Arm. At least I'll have something
Uh,
to jerk off to.
oh, ew, gross. No,
Not that show.
not
Ugh.
that show.
I've jerked off to less.
So, Gilly, what you were talking. Actually, damn it, I still gotta talk to Meep right. I don't want to talk to Meep right now, but I will because I'm obligated to keep the show rolling. What you felt in that moment was the show succeeding. Like that was intentional. Like the audience and the concert being like, "Oh, where is she? Where is she?" And the way they're building up their relationship, which because I was like, really, they're just gonna kill her and like, okay, anime, you're not gonna have her confess her feelings, and then like you're not gonna make the relationship into you're not going to actualize the relationship. You're just gonna kill her. Fine. And then she became a ghost, and I was like, oh, that's why you didn't do it because she's gonna continue staying a character. Um, and
Well,
like honestly, like when she first came up and she's when the show brought her back, and I wasn't kidding. I was like, oh, Homie G is fucking crazy. And I'm still hoping that at like mid-season or at the end he's going to turn around and she's no longer there because he was just imagining her there to help him keep going and keep living and keep working. I agree. I think this show did a lot well. Like, first of all, I went into the show very hesitant because this show's description and trailer made it seem like it was going to be a really like cold-hearted or mean-spirited take, and also like a very gritty but also realistic yet pessimistic take on the idol industry. This wasn't what I expected, and I think this show is clever in its narrative design, but the fact that they brought her back also felt unsatisfying to me. I agree with me.
It it felt insulting because it was setting up for something that would have been. We need more people, more media talking about the darkness of the idol industry because it's a dark, unforgiving, and terrible industry. Like, God, what I thought was going to happen was she was going to die, and then the kid was going to be like all grief stricken, and the boss was going to go, "Well, no, kid, in this industry, you have to keep going no matter what. Find someone new, quick, or you're fired." Because that's how the idol industry would handle that. There's no time for grief in that industry. In that, like, I thought I was so excited because, like, yeah, no, let's explore the dark parts of it. I don't care if it's going to be dark or edgy or pessimistic. I want to experience something like that. I'm tired of having these cutesy stories. I want something that's dark. That's why I love Jujutsu Kaisen. At least Jujutsu Kaisen gives me sad things too.
Gilly, is there anything you want to say? Anything else you want to say?
Like I said, overall, I was just confused, and I don't know. It it fe- for me, it just felt. I can't even say I felt like it was bad. It just felt really bland.
Let me hold
And
up a
that's
card.
really what it was for me. It was bland,
Eh.
Yeah, let's hold up cards.
kind of like their title card.
I'm just, I'm gonna call Dan Aykroyd. Uh, he's busy selling his vodka, but I'm also gonna call Bill Murray, the other Ghostbusters. We're just gonna cross the streams and just get her out of here. Get her out of here. I'm killing the show.
I think Bill Murray's busy too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll give my vote. In the meantime, Meep, can you quickly hop out and hop back in? You're getting a little choppy. Um, I'm gonna fuck this show.
Now that we're alone, Dalaran.
I'm gonna fuck this show. I don't know. This show confuses me, and not in a bad way. Like, I'm interested, right? But this show has. It's not at all what I expected. Like, the title card is minimal, as you're seeing right now, and isn't as idol-y or poppy or as like kawaii or like electric as I expected it to be. The characters are much more down to earth and realistic, um, but it's also like not as mean spirited, and like the ghost angle, all of this has left me surprised, confused, slightly disoriented, and honestly, I don't know where this show is going or what's it going to be. For that reason, I am curious to see what it does. So I have my apprehensions, but let's see what we have in terms of music. Let's see what we have in terms of characters, and let's see what exactly they're going to do with this story.
Oh, do we want to talk about music and everything? The idol scene they actually had was bland, and it was a clip show, and the music was just okay.
In this episode?
In this episode, we did have idol sequences with the girl.
Yeah, but it's sad. I feel like they're not gonna. I feel like they're not gonna put their best work on a character that's not gonna be the idol of the show.
I like the closing theme, which is the only theme we got. There was no opening.
Yeah.
We'll probably get it moving down. I like the closing too, and when it did hit CG, it wasn't too bad. In fact, I was surprised. I'm like, oh, cool, 2D animation for the for the dancing and the choreography, and then when they did the full number at the end of the ending, it shifted to CG, and I was like, ah, there it is. But hey, you know what? It's not bad.
What's your vote, Gilly?
Well, first of all, I think I have to rewatch the episode. But I mean, honestly, because I couldn't even tell, I'm wondering if she's truly a ghost or just the dude's losing it.
Right?
If that's what that ending scene was. Um,
Don't they really portray her to be, a ghost and not a machination of his mind?
Yeah, but the
problem is
story.
mine
Yeah.
could just visualize her as a ghost to sort of try and cope.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, like that. The thing is, the way the description is talking about like the darkness, that would be pretty apt and fair for what they're trying to go for. If that is what they do, I'm going to fuck the show, but I just hope there's more that'll actually get my brain involved in the
Yeah.
next episode.
Yeah.
Because it was really like it was so there was nothing firing any synapses in my head, so it's why I missed so much. It didn't actually trigger any brain activity, which is really insulting to say, and I don't mean it that way, but it didn't do much in terms of getting my brain working. And it was one of the first ones I watched because I was unsure about it.
It is. Yeah, it is peculiar. Like I said,
But
Sorry.
I'm just hoping the next episode it triggers some more brain activity and dips more into the description and what it does. Oh, I'm hopeful for it. It's easier to vote this way when I didn't actually dislike it. I just felt meh.
I feel like there is promise to this show, but I also completely understand Meeps because I have apprehensions too. So
Oh, it's not apprehensions on my end. It's unseething rage. I had to let out my Viking rage in that description.
let's see what they do with their dynamic. It could be interesting. It could be cute.
Those
Hey
don't
kids.
coincide with good, though.
Hey kids, you ever fucked a ghost?
Oh no.
I've seen that part of YouTube, so yes.
I mean, what is it? There's that one movie.
Anyways, Horimiya, episode 1. Hori is a girl who hides her. Okay, sorry, I read Hori is a girl that hides her mom away. I was like, wait, no, that's not right. No.
No,
Hori is a girl.
that's Sugar Life. Happy Sugar Life.
Hori is a girl who hides her mom-like self away from everyone because she has to raise her brother. She meets Miyamura, a guy who hides his piercings and tattoos from everyone. They get along with their secret selves, but Miyamura upsets her when he says to a guy who has a crush on her that he didn't think he and Hori would be a good couple. This was light and fluffy. I enjoyed this.
It's not to be that guy. Well, I'm gonna have to be that guy. I apologize, but it's Miyamura.
Okay,
This
and
this is the stereotypical slice of life anime that makes me happy and is actually good.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to this series.
I I I absolutely love this show. Their feelings and what they want is laid out bare. Episode 1 apparent. I'm very happy for that. It's very obvious. They're both they're both very sweet, and just the descriptions of what they do is cute. How he's so good with her younger brother, the way she talks, her anger towards him, which goes from this crying to yelling, like, "Who's don't you dare stop coming over here? Who's gonna eat your share of food? Who's gonna wake me up when I fall asleep during the movies?" It's so
Tsundere.
cute.
the This show feels like I'm going through the motions, but in a good way.
It's it is very like it is nothing. It's nothing new, but that's what I like about these shows. I usually when I watch a slice of life, I don't want something break breakthrough, something different. I watch them for them to be what I want what them to for them to be what they always are. Just a romantic comedy anime. That's all I care about.
So, talking about the romance, you see it. So when the title card came up, and we I think we mentioned this before when we were setting up, but um, the title cards, like the title panels in our openings for this season, are a lot more simpler. Dare we say, blander than they have been, especially compared to last season. But you see the script you see on your screen right now if you're watching along, watching this on YouTube. It's normally just written out, and then it starts blurring red, blue, and then this kind of like disotropic purple. And I really like what they're doing with it because in the show, when the characters start feeling things, they start lighting up in colors. There's this suspension of reality for a moment, and they kind of bleed colors. And it's really interesting to see the show express anxiety, attraction, insecurity, it's jealousy, etc., etc., happiness. It's I like it. I like it a lot.
The little the little white background with this spray that came out her back that you could tell was a little bit of a pang in her chest when she found out that somebody else saw him with his hair down and his glasses off was just one of the best things in this entire episode for me because that 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 visualization. I don't think I could I don't think I could describe that sensation better than they showed it right there.
Completely agreed. Really quick, guys, just give me like 5 seconds of silence. I hear this tapping coming from my audio, and I don't know what it is. I just want to see if Discord is picking it up. If Discord or OBS is picking it up. Okay. It's not. Fortunately, it might just be my television. So moving on. Thank you. Apologies, but yeah, I completely Gilly, exactly that.
Like that sensation that you can tell that she was feeling. I can't even put that into words very well, and they visualized it perfectly. It's just I love this show so that I really, really like this show. Just the way they do everything.
Yeah, this show was really cute. Like honestly, after watching it, I wasn't too warm on it, but hearing you talk about it a little bit yesterday, because we did talk about it a tiny bit, didn't go into it though. Then hearing you talk about it today, it's made me a bit more warm on it. It's like I think I'm gonna enjoy it.
And, we've only had a little bit of our two little side characters, but I enjoy them. I haven't
Yeah.
had much for them and yet, but I do enjoy them.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun things about this show. It like I really like the tattoos because he's like showing the tattoos, and the guy's like, "Hey, wait, why would he get tattoos if you're not going to show them?" Have you ever done something impulsively? No. It was
Yeah,
great.
it's I I brought that up a couple times. Like I love that line. Just why would you not? If why would you get all these piercings and tattoos if you're never gonna show them to anyone? You ever just do something in the heat of the moment? No.
No. Anyways,
It's his delivery of no, and then immediately into so you wouldn't be upset if I asked if I asked Hori
Hori.
out. Yeah, like just an immediate like very quickly just like so you wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I really,
No
again,
step. No like break there, and it was I really liked that.
because he himself, he plays the cool semi. Yeah, I guess he's not a delinquent, but he plays like the cool kid. But like he himself is, anxious and insecure, and really just shy and he's nervous about his proposal, which didn't go well. And you see, these characters are multifaceted, like really multifaceted, and not just because you see the duality of Hori and Miyamura, but because I that's something I'm really excited to see. Again, much like in Skate, but in a very different way. It's no secret by now for those of you who've been listening with us since our previous season. I am a big fan of character writing, expression, and just character driven storytelling and shows. And I'm really excited to see it. People's quirks, people's flaws. Like Hori, I'm not the biggest fan of her. I like her a lot. I respect her. She works really hard. I don't like tsunderes, and she's pretty fucking tsundere. Like tsundere. Um, and I'm gonna be honest. Like I did not. When I was watching the show, I thought we're gonna have love triangles in a prism. Like we're gonna have this person like this person who also likes this person, and then we're gonna get like some Toradora shit happening. Um, because I think I can see like the cute little short spunky girl getting a crush on Miyamura. We know purple hair boy. I'm just gonna pull up people's names. But yeah, seeing all that, I actually thought that we're gonna get different relationships throughout it, or focusing on different characters. Like with the ending, I thought like it has this very simplistic 3D animation, which is kind of cutesy, but also it's a little on the it's not the most attention grabbing. Um, but I thought like it really focused it on Miyamura and Hori, so I thought we were going to get the situation where every ending might be focusing on different couples and different relationships and different interactions. And then I pulled up the title still, and I see that the show is called Horimiya, and the characters are Hori-san to Miyamura-kun, which is
Yeah.
Hori-san and Miyamura-kun, and I'm like, oh, okay, this show is focusing on them.
Yeah, it's focused on them, and like one of the things I love. I'm already happy about this show is we had a little bit of like in this beginning thing. It's like obviously he doesn't think he says he doesn't think they'd be a good couple because honestly self-esteem. You can tell that's a whole thing with him. Very stereotypical, which I'm fine with because it's not done in an obnoxious way. Um, and it's very by the end of this episode, it's very. I felt it was very clarified and put right out there how they feel, and there's no like question about it, and I really was happy with that being put out as soon as possible. Don't have to like sit there and think about it. It's how they feel.
I liked how she kept calling him a dummy. It's like, watch my big sister when she says dummy, she can only say dummy. It's like dummy, dummy, dummy,
Yeah,
dummy,
they
dummy,
took
dummy.
something they took something that is really overdone, the whole Baka thing, and it's really overdone, but then they actually did a really good thing with it with the little brothers comment and
Oh,
made it
little
like better than if they just had her say it over and over again, it would have sucked. But
little
the little brothers
brother,
comment really helped.
little brother with the fucking assassination of his sister in that moment. I laughed out loud. I'm like, homie threw her under the bus and then double tapped just to be safe. Watch. No, no. He's just like when she says dummy, she like when she gets upset and says dummy, she usually can't stop for a while. Watch. And I'm like, you little shit, you little fuck. I love you.
So cute, and his relationship with her little brother is so sweet and pure, and makes things even better for me.
I want to hang out with the cool dude.
That was so cute.
Next thing we know, we're gonna see the little brother get a teardrop tattoo. Just oh no.
Oh, God.
Nah, just little brother walks in with a full fucking sleeve wrapped in plastic.
I'll say it was interesting that they her very first time seeing him and every time subsequent, it seems they toned the piercings back just a slight, just a smidge. Because that very first time they saw him, he had that chain connecting piercing thing, which I'm always weirded out by just a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest. I
Yeah.
think that was just the animation being less detailed on it because when they
It
first showed it,
might
they were
be.
really driving it home. Also, funny that you should mention that because funny you should mention that. I thought that was the same kid, but I wasn't sure in the intro
I did
sequence.
too. Like it actually looked like him. I'm like that seemed yet no.
Yeah, but it wasn't sure because
Sitting
he's
there
so radically
questioning
different.
myself.
Yeah, exactly. But I actually didn't trust him because of that scene because he looked back and saw her walking and he kind of had this like weird facial expression, and to me it was kind of like it. I read it as predatory. I was wrong. I went back to look at the scene once they said, "Oh, it was him." His expression wasn't that. It's just what I expect from anime now. So like that was on me. But I funnily didn't trust him when I saw him, and then I'm like, "Oh, this guy's a precious. I love him. I love
He
Miyamura."
just walks in. He just walks in with the head of the little brother on a platter.
Again, that's a happy sugar life.
Don't you dare besmirch my Miyamura like this.
And Miyamura is just a good bean. I really like. Also, he's fucking pretty. He's so pretty. He's so handsome.
He really is. The thing is, like, he looks good in both looks. When he actually is a little more casual, it's better, but I do actually think I think he's nice looking in both.
This is what I was talking about. What is with this season of anime and like making these absolutely gorgeous dudes like outcasts and like social outcasts in school?
I also realize I
Oh,
also realize when you think about it, if out of any kind of, because he talks about getting these like piercings and tattoos on impulse, it makes sense to me because I know this will sound bad, but most people that I know that have tribal tattoos got them on a whim. I know it sounds bad, but it seems to be a trend. It seems to be a very common thing to go for because it's just sort of shapes rather than something super like super designed or detailed. It seems to be a common trend, like, oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo. It's gonna be so cool, and they get um uh and then they get tribal tattoos because it's simple and to the point, and everyone thinks they look cool, which sometimes they do, not
Yeah,
all the time.
I like Miyamura's. His looks cool.
Yeah, his are pretty good, and they're not like as bad as it could be. It goes up his entire side, but
Like
which
I took literally have a screenshot of the tattoos. I'm like, okay, I might actually get if I have money, I might get these tattoos.
then on top of the tattoos, and well, at least still on them, just the way he is, how he's so embarrassed about his piercings, his tattoos. He realizes he's gonna have to swim. He comes running into Hori's house, like breathless, like freaking out. She doesn't understand, and he like pulls up his shirt. Like, how am I supposed to hide this?
It's funny. I watched that scene. I literally have in my notes. So either he's never been swimming before, or these tattoos are pretty recent.
God.
I think it was implied that swimming is optional in Japanese
Yeah, no,
schools.
they did talk about it afterwards that he found out it was optional and he was gonna do track instead. which meant he had to wear a fucking full tracksuit in spring.
Also, the animators knew what they were doing when he took his shirt off or lifted his shirt or unzipped his like tracksuit. They knew what the fuck they were doing. But
Wait, they've done so
Gilly,
much of this show. It's so good.
yeah, there's so many lovely subtleties to this show, like intricate little touches that make it so good. And Gilly, I am so happy to hear that you like it because I was watching this and I'm like, Gilly's gonna either hate this like it's Adachi Toshimomura or but I really hope he doesn't because I
I
really like this show too.
I
Ironically,
made this
ironically,
apparent a few times. I have nothing against slice of life. That wasn't my issue at all.
it was the romance part of it.
I hated that other show. I actually hated it. I can't say that loosely. I actually hated it, which is upsetting. I don't like to have to say that because I don't like saying that word, but I
Hold on.
did. I
What
love
other
this.
what other
Speaking
show?
the
The
Adachi Toshimomura.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
That being said, ironically, me and my friend who were watching X-Arm together were terrified that you would like X-Arm.
I thought you were gonna like X Arm Dalaran. I'm not
I
gonna
don't
lie.
even want to. I said what I had to say about X-Arm.
But yeah, back to Horimiya. I mean, we've kind of talked about a lot of it. Actually, you know what? I do want to bring up something. The teacher, this absolute dumbass
Oh my
lad.
fucking god.
I love him.
Oh,
He's
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 fucking
not even God,
disgusting.
he's my big issue is at first I thought when he made that comment he was going to be the pervy teacher. I don't think he's that. I think he's just a fucking idiot.
I think he's just a fucking idiot too. Also,
But then he,
in the beginning of the
but what he
episode,
says to Hori is so fucking.
That's what I'm talking about. The way his way he ended that, I think he's just a fucking idiot because he wasn't trying to be creepy. He saw that she was down and tried to make her feel better, and that's what he thought would work.
he's a fucking dude, bro.
He's just fucking stupid.
I also was worried about it because when he was like because the anime opens up with him like talking about how it's important to look at girls and go with girls to the beach, and then the girls being like, yeah, teacher is really hot. Too bad he's a fucking dumbass. And I'm like, okay. I expected this show to have mixed dynamics and relationships, but not opening with this. And and then the fucking Hori, keep your chin up. I like small, flat-chested girls, and he just walks away like a fucking
Thumbs up.
stupid
The,
man.
the thumbs up. The thumbs up is where you know he's not being creepy. He's just fucking stupid. It's
I
the
think
thumbs up.
I think the line was like, Hori, keep your chin up. I think small, flat-chested girls are cute too, and just walk thumbs up earnestly, like a very earnest, eager thumbs up, and then just walks away, and she's just standing there being like, what the fuck?
I just imagine. In my head, I imagine she just walks right to the principal's office after that. We just see the teacher getting thrown out on the street.
I
Don't be
have
mean
a
to my boy.
feeling this is not the first time he's done something this fucking stupid, and they just expect it from him.
Yeah. Although I'm not gonna lie,
He seems just he, do- he obviously he's a teacher. He can't be that dumb, but I think there's certain things like this. He is just an idiot.
I'm not gonna lie though, I am not. This show has established such good faith with me on episode one that I would actually not be. I don't want it, but I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like a deal breaker for me if they actually did a teacher student relationship with him, because I feel like there would be purpose to it, not just fantasy arrow.
I Here's the interesting thing about that is he gives so there's a show that I can't remember if only one of you have seen it or if neither of you have seen it, but Chobits actually has a student teacher relationship that forms near the end of it. And it's
still
actually really well done.
I still need to watch Chobits. I remember it being incredibly popular when I was a kid, like when I was a teenager or like a young adolescent, and but I've just progressively heard more negative things about it, how it fetishizes, how it's lolly bait or lolicons, and there's some dark sexuality aspects there, but I still need to give
There,
it a watch.
there is, but I think I think that a lot of the good stuff of it overshadows all that, and it really is worth the watch. And they do certain things that other shows. It does certain things other shows don't do well, very well.
Hmm.
And I thought thinking about a student-teacher relationship, as weird as it would be, if they could do something the same line, I would actually not be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Something as well done as that, at least.
See,
Be still be weird, but
yeah, yeah, like in terms of shows that this show reminds me of, it reminds me of Toradora and actually Adachi to Shimomura too, because Tsundere and awkward kid, except this time not a delinquent, just kind of like a shut in, and with interesting side characters, and Adachi to Shimomura because it's just it's very expressive and honestly like realistic and believable characters. Also, Chad is saying that the teacher scene, that just reminds me of the scene in Scooby Doo. I think this is like the movies, like the live action movies, where Fred looked at Velma and was like, "Hey, dorky, I like dorky chicks like you too," or "Dorky chicks like you turn me on too." Except
dorky
that,
chicks like you turn me on too. Yes, that was fucking weird.
ooh, Gil, you
In what
roboted
Scooby
out.
Doo movie?
That
Yeah, he
was a
just turns
Scooby
around
Doo
and is like,
movie.
"Yeah, dorky chicks like you turn me on
One of the
too," and I'm
live
just like,
actions, or is it
That was
the
one
yeah,
of live action.
okay? It's probably the first then,
It is the first.
yeah.
because the only one I watched when I was, because I watched the first when I was younger. The only one I watched when I was older was the second.
It was the first one. The second you brought that up, I was like, "Oh my fucking god, here we go."
Yeah, except I remember like I took offense to that scene, and I think that was the point. Here with the teacher, I still I'm with Gilly. Like it felt. I don't think.
He's a
I
genuine
mean,
dumbass that cares about his students and their happiness.
like I don't think he's pursuing them. That's the thing. Like he might find students attractive because I mean we don't talk about this right, but when you're in your last years of high school, you're 17, 18, there's a whole. I hate to fucking say it, and this might be a hot take for our last show of this episode, but like, there's a teen category in porn. There are teachers shouldn't cross that line with their students. You shouldn't pursue your students. There's zero argument there, but some teachers will look at their students in that kind of way. The key is, do they do anything about it, which they should not.
I actually have a friend who is dating one of his college professors, but he was the one that instigated it, so that's a whole different line of morality.
And that's college and university is a different
Yeah.
realm. Some people are like 19, 20, 21. They can start making their decisions. It's at the end of the day, it's the responsibility of the position of power and influence that comes into play. If things
Also,
in
that
college and university happen organically, then why not? But if you're in a position of power and you're using it to like seduce your students, that's the line. That's you crossing the line.
and it's interesting because my friend is like 21, 22, and the professor is 24 to 26. And it's just I because the professor literally just started teaching there that year, and my friend has been in college for 2 to 3 years now. So it's interesting because hearing them talk, they genuinely love each other a lot. It's just, and it's not even that big of an age gap. It's just, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
it
where I'm going with this.
I'll wrap this conversation up in a nice bow. It's about the responsibility and the position of authority and power you have, and also it's about consent and like, uh, um, what is it? Uh, what's the opposite of ignorance? It's basically like
Well,
understanding consent. It's like educated, informed. It's informed consent. Both parties are
That's very
actively
close to
engaging each
saying
other due to their
accountability.
own agency. But yeah, let's talk about the opening.
It's simple. It's sweet. I I didn't think anything super special or crazy about it, but I liked it. It was really nice. Ah,
Oh,
the alt is dead.
Sorry, I had to hop in and hop out of the call. I hear a moment of silence, so I'll give my opinion on the opening.
So what I need to say about it?
Yeah. Meep, is Gilly roboting for you too?
no,
Okay,
it's
cool.
not
So it's my
roboting.
connection. All right. Yeah. Like when the show opened up, this is a show that I was excited about too. Not because like I was really excited for the concept, but I was excited for what they do with it. So when I was watching it, like I thought it was really interesting. I'm like, the openings, the intro scene is really interesting. That is the operative term. Like I thought, okay, cool, we're getting another character-driven, focused show about different lives and lifestyles these characters have in and out of school. Cool, and like in their personal lives, cool, cool, cool. And then the opening played, and my intrigue continued to build. Like I had no idea what to expect. I mean, I don't have any idea what to expect from the show. This is the fun thing about slice of life romance is because it can be really good, it can be really bad, it can be unique, it could just be cliche, but like that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There's a lot of routes you can take from slice of life and romance, and being more than a bit of a romantic and like really focused. Like my own like I'm a psych major with focus on general therapy, cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy, but also sexuality and intimacy. It's always interesting to see people talk about their romances, their intimacies, and seeing it done in media too, so I can recommend interesting ways to look at things. The opening is really soft, yet there's something uncomfortable about it, or at least I found it. Like, there's this almost like slight uncanny or like ominousness to it. Again, just really curious to know where this show's going.
I didn't get that, but I enjoyed the opening. It was light and fluffy. That's about all I can say about it.
Visually, it
Are
was
we ready
simple.
for?
Yeah, sure. Do we want to talk about the ending?
Was there an ending? I thought it was.
Yeah, the little like chibi sims of them walking around, and you can see each one's life.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
it's just a little cute little ending.
Yeah, it's light and fluffy. That's all I can say about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I already spoke on it before, so I just wanted to open up if anyone else has anything to say.
Oh, it's just a lot of the show. It's sweet, it's cute, it's simple, and that's but it does everything I want. I look, it may have come out that I don't like slice of life after the last time. The thing is, one of my favorite in terms of movies, my favorite movie genre is romantic comedies. I like slice of life. I like romance. I just like it when it's done in a way that doesn't hurt me.
Fair, homie G. Fair.
Well, I'm gonna fuck the show. It's light and fluffy. I can see myself falling off of it at some point, but that would not be anything against the show. That would just be my want for a show like this.
Cool. Yeah. I'm fucking this show too. Uh, like man, color me intrigued. Like I find this show to be simultaneously intriguing and interesting. I already said why, but with the ending of the episode and everything it showed us in this first episode, the show had hooked me. Uh, it is the front runner of this season now is Horimiya and Skate Infinity. Um, I really want to see where this goes. I genuinely don't know what to expect from this show, nor do I know where it will go with its relationships. It seems capable of diving into the small intricacies and unique characters of each, well, character, but it also falls into like tropey anime shticks, which Hori being a tsundere kind of is a downer for me, especially because this is like the main couple of the show. if not the only couple, but not enough for me to like not want to see what's about to happen. Like, it could be super messy, it could be dramatically emotional, it could be really profound and introspective, or it could just, calm down and be a nice, fluffy show. Only time will see. Only time will tell. All I can say is that each character having more than two sides to them is a really good start, and is probably the strongest thing in this show. This show does for me, and me, like we talked about in Adachi Toshimamura. I want the show. Obviously, I'm realizing now in retrospect, the show is shipping Hori and Miyamura really, really, really much. But I just like their dynamic. It's really sweet, romantic or not. Like, the emotions that they're saying in this relationship is, I like how it's being expressed. Otherwise, yeah,
You know they're
that's
gonna. You know this is gonna end up romantic. The way she broke down that he thought they wouldn't be a good couple.
but
It's
will it
the
stay?
feelings are very powerfully there.
I want them to get together, but I don't know if I think they're gonna stay together.
I'm waiting for the. I fully expect this show to do the same kind of things most slice of life romance do, where it's going to take a while before they even try to get together, and then right before it's going to happen, there's going to be heartbreak that has to be worked through. It's very stereotypical, but I expect that of this show, and I'm not upset thinking that's what's going to happen because I want the stereotypical slice of life. I like those shows.
Yeah. Also, yeah, but also going on record. So going on record, I am straight. I the male physiology just doesn't create a sexual attraction or a sexual reaction for me. So I am a cis hetero white male. Uh,
Dare you have
but
an opinion?
huh?
How dare you have an opinion?
How dare I have an opinion? Um,
Yeah, Dalaran, haven't you ever been on Twitter? Straight white males are the scum of the earth and all deserve to be killed.
yeah. We all know the jokes, but the moment this dude, I mean, he's pretty. He's dead ass pretty. The moment this dude started running, I audibly made the joke. Oh no, he's hot. He like unloosens his tie, his shirt gets loose, his jacket falls off, his hair starts flying backwards, showing the rest of his face. He starts getting sweaty. I'm like, man, like, from an anime perspective, this is hot. And unless anyone else has anything else to say, I will end my thoughts on Horimiya with Tamako time.
On what now?
It's egg time, Tamago time.
Oh, yeah, that is my profile picture now.
I noticed.
I actually really I took a screenshot of that and then I made it my profile picture because I loved that. Just it's eggs again. He jumps over the fence. He's in the middle of this crazy ass jump. It's just can't talk. It's egg time.
Yeah. I really look forward
Oh,
to talking about the show with you guys, and me. Don't take this the wrong way, but with you especially, Gilly, because we didn't get to talk about like character and like mental dynamics in Adachi Toshimamura. So like when you were talking about the inner workings of his mind, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. These levels of like impulsiveness sounds like a teenager or anyone looking for a sense of identity.
it also that sense of identity also comes with the fact of his a bit of low self esteem because
A
you could
bit.
tell right away his they didn't play heavily into it, which is really good about it. They didn't like make it this huge thing, but it plays into why he said he didn't think they'd be a good couple. Most of is just his self esteem and thinking he's not good enough for her, and thinking, oh, this guy's really nice. It's just a whole thing. It's really, I love it. It's really good.
His default is even to say, "Oh, then why don't you ask him out?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I don't think we make a good couple." And she's like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's your default."
Exactly.
That's your reason.
It's really sad.
Also, by
Oh,
the way,
which I gotta.
Miyamura confirmed by. He didn't say I'm straight.
I can see him being
There's
bi. He's hot enough to be
I
bi.
I never
what?
said he wasn't.
I don't know where the comparison is there, but I'm not going to delve into that right now. Um, uh, which I need to bring up the ending, the very ending before like the music that shows him coming in, and he's like, he looks like he hasn't slept. His eyes are dark but also puffy. You can tell he's been crying.
Yeah.
I
Toll, right?
really liked that. Yeah, I mean, it seems really. I didn't.
Toru.
He's not a bad guy. He just had a crush on a girl and he got rejected, and now he's upset. And he comes to Miyamura just like obviously looking like he's had a rough night.
As
And
the
we just we
outsider.
pit over to the girls, and it's just like, what do you think he's doing? Maybe he's asking him out.
Yeah. As the which also implies that Hori's a little bit jealous and possessive, but like as an outcast kid in high school and just school in general myself, it's actually really nice to see him start making friends throughout this episode. Like he has this relationship with Hori, he gets this relationship with Toru, Ishikawa.
It's all done really, really well. And I'm just gonna say I'm gonna fuck the show because I haven't given my vote on that yet.
Is that a trifecta then?
Honestly, like, so I after I watch these shows, I sort of, from what we've seen so far, I put everything on my own little scale of what I liked the most to what I liked the least, and what I like, just my top so far. And honestly, I can't actually pick one over the other between Horimiya and Gate the Infinity as my number one because I like them. I love both of them for very different reasons. So I can't actually put one over the other. They're both pretty much the same for me. They are my absolute favorite on this.
Honestly,
And
same.
then it's Boonies. You guys don't like it. I actually really like So What I'm a Spider, so it's immediately after Boonies. Um and then
Careful, Boonies might get the Rotten Fruit Tart Award.
I'm gonna like it. But after Boonies it is think now that I've had to think more now that I have more time to think on it, it is um Idoly Pride, Jobless Reincarnation, Cells at Work, X Arm.
Well, where would Jujutsu Kaisen be on that list, Gilly?
I will not make an opinion on based off this list until it gets its new episode,
Agreed. Because
Fair.
we also have Wonder Egg priority.
which is out today, so that's something to remember.
I got so sad because someone earlier spoiled it for me because they were like,
Rude.
"Hey, you watched Wonder Egg, right? You, how did you think of this moment?" I'm like, "I haven't fucking watched it yet," and they're like, "Oh." I need to just stop telling people I'm watching certain shows.
Well,
I,
it's only had one episode, anyways. Well,
I
they
know.
just came out today.
So you can
Sorry, because I
expect
still
our full roster next week of 10 shows, including Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I'll give my full view of my full rating scope at the end of next week's, which could change depending on how shows do certain things.
Yeah.
And
also,
yeah,
just a quick little thing. I'm not gonna make a whole big thing of it, but I also watched Kimono Jihen, Hortensian Saga, and Beastar second season. Beastar second season and Kimono Jihen were pretty good. Hortensian Saga was not good. I would not recommend it. Yeah, that's my the graveyard review.
They're not even fucking dead.
watch
They're
watch
not even on the list.
watch 2.43, the David production volleyball anime. It got really fucking dark immediately.
Really? Do you recommend it? Because
Yes,
I was curious about that show
it
too.
is actually. I do like at least watch the first episode, see what you think. It is worth it.
Is it tastefully dark or is it just dark to make me feel bad?
It is tastefully dark.
Okay, cool. I'll give it a look. But yeah, next week, guys, you can expect the second episodes of all the shows we talked about today, but also the first episode of Wonder Egg Priority, an original IP, an original work by the studio, which escapes me right now, and the continuation of Jujutsu Kaisen in its second half of its first season.
Wonder Egg is an original, which means we have two originals on here: Skate and Wonder Egg.
Skate's an original? Dope.
Skate's an original.
Yep. It's made by Studio Bones as well.
Boons.
Yes. Also, we have a title card being worked on by a lovely member of our community. So
Shout out to Death to Reality, spelled with a 3 in reality. Check her out if you're looking to do some commissions. They do really good work and are very,
follow
very.
her on Twitter.
Yeah, follow her on Twitter. Twitch.
How do you put a
Twitch.tv.
3 in
On Twitter.
reality?
Twitter, Death to Reality. You're gonna see the title cards gonna come up. We appreciate the work, and she's very accommodating and fun to work with. So, good times.
Yeah.
And in this case, since we're since we're doing thanks guys, thanks Team 4-Star for making this format, and take it away, Meep.
You can follow us at FMK Anime. You can follow me at Soul_King777. Where you can see me shouting about lesbians and how cute they are. You can also find me lurking in the back alleys of the internet.
Oh, Gilly.
Street Boys.
Backstreet's back. All right, Gilly. Anything you wanna? Oh, One Direct Priorities by Cloverworks. And yeah, Gilly. Anything you wanna plug?
Well, I've been Gilly. You can find me on Twitch at Gillywad. I do have something I was gonna talk to probably talk to Meep about maybe. The plan is, was it can't do Friday. I have to find an exact time, but this Friday there are shows I want to talk about that are not on this list, and the volleyball anime is one of them. I really need to want to talk about that one. So I'm probably gonna just have a little thing for that on a. I said Friday, right? Yes, I said Friday.
Yeah, I can do Friday in the evening if you want me to join you for that.
Oh,
I
noise.
just need to figure out a time, but if you're in the Discord server, I'll post it in there when it's getting close. Once I figure that out.
And with that, Meep, stop making noise. I've been
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, as
I
always.
just wanted to.
Yes, Meep.
I'll wait. Okay. One last thing I want to plug. There's a idol anime called Backstreet Girls. It's about 3 Yakuza members who fail their boss, and their boss forces them to get sex arrangements, so they have to be in an idol band for him. It's really wacky. It's really goofy. Go watch it.
Okay. And as as long as they handle it well, that does sound wacky and funny. But yes, as always, I've been Dalaran Quest. Thank you guys. For those of you watching us live, we appreciate you guys. It makes the show all the more fun hearing you guys comment and what you guys think about the anime. My voice reel is out. Please check it out. It would be an honor for you guys to give it a look, especially if you think it's good enough to share it around social media. That's how people get work. One of the main ways people get work. So please check out my voice reel and please stop making noise. Check out my voice reel and character reel. You can catch it on Twitch, but you can also see it on YouTube at Dalaran, or I believe it's DKDRock456. It's been a while since I used my real YouTube handle. Otherwise, I'm learning how to play fighting games, and we got some D&Ds. So for those of you who are hanging out, stick around. In another hour or so, the D&D will begin.
Nice.
Yay.
Alright. And with that, I do believe this is goodbye, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yay.
Au revoir.
Hopefully, my hearing isn't permanently lost in my left ear, and we can start on time.